Record on my computer. There we go. It's recording on my computer. I'm in great shape.
You are? Okay, good.
Oh,
All right.
the picture vanished. I'll have to figure out why.
I can't find the link to it. A little brain dead. Well, I think we're going to get winter in the next day or so. It's talk about the temperature plummeting into the 50s. And I mean plummeting. So it's
Eddie, I'll come by you. It was 40 here, 45 here yesterday, and right now I have 10 degrees.
okay. We got room. I got a fire out back just for you.
Kind of chilly here today too.
Here too.
What do you call chili?
It was raining here yesterday all day, and 7 o'clock last night it started snowing.
Ooh.
Well, I can't match snowing, but it's raining here, and it rained yesterday here too. So, although other people get it much worse than we do, I have to admit.
Oh yeah. I'm in South Louisiana. Wait 5 minutes, it'll change. Yeah.
Hey, I've got a technical question. Maybe you guys can answer for me. I'm not finding the Zoom settings. I can't turn on the sounds and all that stuff.
You look
Don't
here.
have a bar at the bottom of the page, you mean?
I'm showing my microphone and the video. I've got security, participants, polls, share screen, reactions, apps, and more. And I've looked in more, it's not there. I've got
I
chat.
just had that problem.
Under more, I've got chat, show chat previews, record on this computer, captions, breakout rooms, and start focus.
Okay, you're gonna find it in your normal Zoom library, not on the bottom of your screen. Someplace you went to Zoom to turn this thing on. And there you'll find the settings in the top right corner. And in that settings, about the third down says audio. And then you can adjust which speaker and which microphone.
I think you can also do that under where the microphone shows in the bottom left corner, where it either says mute or unmute. If you click that, a screen window pops up that has a lot of options.
Yeah, audio settings. How about that? I
Gotcha.
didn't know that, Dave.
Hey, Doug,
Gotcha.
Eddie,
Yeah. All right.
can you hear me, Eddie?
I
we
got
hear
you, bud.
Yeah, I just had that problem when I logged in, and I had to go up in my picture and turn everything on. In the upper right-hand corner is 3 dots, and it'll drop down, and that's where I had to turn a couple things on. I just did the update on Zoom, and I guess it changed some settings for me.
Mine too. That's what I did
Oh,
because it didn't recognize this thing.
Right.
And I had to go in and change it. But I've got my Mac program that when I turn this on, it's automatic for all the stations and stuff. So,
Okay.
but
I might try it, Doug. Thanks, Eddie.
all right. See, who's that just popped in? I saw him there. There he is. Donald's from Australia's joint. Good evening, sir, or good day.
G'day, Eddie. I haven't been here for a few weeks because I've been in hospital with kidney
Ooh.
failure. But we're on the way back now.
Good.
To have you back.
Definitely. Nice to have you back.
Donald, I know how
Thank
you
you.
feel, bud. I've been fighting that dragon for almost a year now, and the other day, my doctor said I'm down to a 3. And I was in the middle 5, 6 a year ago, and he said we can't turn it around. Yeah, you can. Did it with diet and exercise, strict diet. I mean, I had a turkey sandwich yesterday that They must have crossed up something on the grill and there's some other meat on the grill. And I was sick as a dog last night from it. So we find out what that goes on a list of one more place we can't eat at. And that
Tell you what,
list gets rather long. So
it's one hell of a way to lose weight.
well,
I think that's an excessive method.
yeah, I go to a I don't know the technical term. I go to a brain doctor tomorrow because I'm having the seizures again. And when I talked to him to set this up, she said, "Okay, what are some of the indications?" I said, "Besides the other indications, I can't smell a damn thing, and I don't taste anything, and I don't get hungry." She said, "Oh, I'm moving to the top of the list. We need to see you right away." So okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought not being able to eat and not being hungry would be a positive, but that's not how it's working out. I see you in there just now. Saw Safety Sue.
Howdy there.
Sue. Okay, now I got you.
Yeah. I got a question for you. I tried no matter what, if I could save the chat on this iPad, and I don't think I can. So is the chat on our website anymore or not?
Oh, yes. Dave, you answer that.
Absolutely, yes. If you go to the home page, the front page of it, and you look to the right, there's a little tab that says chat. If you click that tab, then
Okay.
it'll list all the chat meetings up there, the chats.
Is it all the way
Started.
over? Right? Because I haven't been seeing it, but some days I don't see as well as others.
It should be there, at least for last week. It won't be there for this week yet.
Yeah. Yeah, unless we're fortune tellers, right?
Right.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, Sue, I'm looking at my iPad, and I thought I could do it there, but I don't see the button either.
I went into Zoom and they said it was good on the Mac, but they never mentioned the iPad.
If
Yeah.
you're on the iPad or on a phone or something like that, it may have moved itself all the way to the bottom because there wasn't enough room on the screen. So you have to scroll down the page until you get to the bottom, and then you'll see.
There's
stuff
nothing on
down
the
there.
bottom. There's nothing on the bottom either. So
Oh, let me
It
go
is
to the
what it is.
website. Maybe it's broken.
But also be amount of memory available.
well, I've got most of my memory on this thing. I checked that because everything I save to the cloud. So there should be plenty of memory on here. But thanks for the info.
I see it on mine. But again, I'm looking at it from a computer and I've got a wide screen. It's all the way to the right. Oh, and then there's okay, let me try again. You look to the right and then there's a thing that says recent articles. And then under the recent articles, you'll find something that says chat gallery and newsletters. And
Okay. Thanks. I can find it from there.
do you see that? And you click the chat and you should see something that says meeting 2022 11/23, which I think was what the date was last week.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I just couldn't find it. I was looking at everywhere.
It's
So I
okay,
figured
it's not obvious. I should have a different method, I guess, of doing it.
it's okay. It gives people a way to get around our site. They look at everything then.
Yeah, either that or it's a way for everybody to get confused.
Well, I tell
Either
you
way.
what, we did. Oh, I'm sorry, Sue.
That's okay. Go ahead.
Last week we did the birdhouse, Bob's Birdhouse gallery type thing. And I put the promo out Monday or yesterday. We had requests for 38 members today. 38 new members to our Facebook page.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and all I've heard this week, even from folks I didn't know were involved in wood turning, a lady at the Aquasize today said, "I saw all those birdhouses. Man, that is cool. You had what, a dozen in there?" I said, "No, only had a dozen good photographs." I said, "But we had over 100 birdhouses shown." They couldn't believe it. In fact, who sent me that? Who sent me that note? I gotta dig it up again.
Do you want to see 101?
No, Bob Moffett sent me here. And Bob, he's, Birdhouse Bob wants
Yeah.
to cause some trouble again. He says the next challenge we should have is an ornament challenge. And that'll go for Christmas. So look at that, Bob. That Bob's coming up with some stuff.
Oh, good. Good.
I like that idea.
Sue, do you have another birdhouse?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. It's busy. I went and I used Spectraply, red, green, and white. And I used a box elder for the roof and the finial.
Oh,
So-
Oh,
Oh,
back
wow.
up. Oh, I love that finial.
Awesome.
Love it.
Well, thank you. I'll show it when
Cool.
Bob gets on, but yeah.
Yes.
I love the colors.
Thank you.
Real nice.
Sue, one more time, put it up there, Sue, because I've got to get a screen capture.
Back
All right,
up a little bit.
got it.
Can't see the bottom of it.
How's that?
All right, I got about 10 of them, so I'm going to work with those.
What kind of wood did you use, Sue?
The top and the finial are box elder. And I use Spectraply for the body.
How did you do? Did you make the perch?
Yes, I did.
That is so cool.
That was my first perch. I even put a little flange on it.
Yes, nice.
You did a nice job.
Yes.
My first birdhouse, guys.
What you know what I
Very
really
nice.
you know what I really like is you have the bird facing out away. Everything I've done and everything I've seen, the bird is facing in towards the house, and that just makes it look really nice.
Well, thank you. I figured, she wanted to pose before she lays her nest.
I think it's incredible because of the undulation of the edges, and they kind of complement the undulation of the pattern. If you know what I'm saying, the entire
Yeah.
thing just did so nicely. Wow.
Well, thank you.
That's gorgeous.
Yes.
I tried a red bird on there, and it was too much red, so I figured, okay, we'll do it though.
Oh no, that's great.
Thank
You
you.
got a Parfex finish on that?
I forgot to put the Parfex on when I was doing the body, but I did it with Dr. Kirk Triple E and then the first wax. And I had sanded it up to 600,
Okay.
But-
Got a nice shine.
but the roof and the finials got the Parfex. But again, I used the Dr. Kirk's Triple E on there, so I didn't have to put it up on the buffing wheel.
Well, there are no tool marks on it and no scratches and lines. You did a good finish.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm extremely critical of other people's work when if there's tool marks or scratches or grains in it, because they can mostly be fixed or eliminated when you're turning. But that's a beautiful piece, Sue.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I been learning guys, but
I think we just lost you, Sue.
my scrapers. Did you lose me?
You're back now.
You're back now.
Okay. I've been watching Cindy Drozda and been regrinding my tools. And I kind of like the finish I'm getting, where I can actually almost start with 220 sandpaper, but I go back and I start with 100. and go up.
Now, Cindy draws the sharpening your tools. Are you doing more scraping now?
Not necessarily. I went and I had a 40-degree grind on my spindle gouges, and both my spindle gouges are 3/8 inch, and so I put them to the 35-inch. One's more of a fingernail grind than the other one, and I even changed. I was watching Craft Supplies, and they suggested 40-degree on my scraper. Not my scraper, my roughing gouge. And I actually put that to 35. And I can get such a smooth cut with that. It may be because I'm short and it just fits perfect where I am at the lathe. But yeah.
I always wondered if your height would have anything to do with the angle that you needed on your tool.
Yeah.
It has to do with the presentation. Your height changes the angle. You have to adjust.
Well, I'm enjoying the 35-degree angle.
Whatever angle works for a person is the right angle.
Yep.
And I also like.
Charlie spoke the truth just now.
Yes,
Get
he
rid
did.
of all that number stuff. Sharpen that tool the way it works best for you. And don't worry about any numbers, any guidelines or anything else, because all those other people aren't using that tool. You are.
And I found that I like my what do you call them? What's the tool that everybody has a hard time with?
Skew.
The skew. Everybody knew that one. I like my skew at a combination 40 degrees, and I don't get catches with it then. And I have been honing it on a strop, and yeah, I'm doing pretty good with that. I didn't do any of this with the skew other than a small scraper. I used a round scraper to scrape the indentations here a little bit, but other than that, and I like the effect I've been getting, and I keep thinking of Mark Sillay's mantra: go as slow as you can. You know.
Oh yeah, this is not a race.
How slow can you go? Oh yeah.
And folks, some turners say scraper. I know I've told the story before. I know one of the world's greatest ornamental turners that turned 2 bowls one day with 2 scrapers he carried in his pocket, and a diamond stone he had in his pocket. But when I look back at the video, he didn't do what a lot of folks do, and that is he never approached it flat on. Every time he made a cut, he was on a bias. And the cuts were a little bitty wispies because he's only cutting with a little bitty bit of the cutter. And he was getting these sweeping cuts. There was so little sharp sanding needed, it was unbelievable. And my firm, or the firm we closed, used to sell those carbides. And every time he goes, how do you use these? I said, use it like a scraper, but kick it up on one leg. And I had a guy call me a couple of days after someone, he says, man, I watched a video from some guy out west, and he says, only flat, don't turn it. And I said, okay, that's his opinion. He says, oh no, I'm calling to tell you, I turned it, and boy, is it different. I said, okay,
That's kickback.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All of those tools, and depending on the wood, they all have a sweet spot. And if you can find the sweet spot and you start getting the wispy shavings, and you will get a finish that you won't have to sand. That's my goal with all my tools, whether it's a scraper or a skew or a bowl gouge or whatever.
Yeah, right. You get a good slice or a good cut. We had Mark coming on tonight. And I remember first time I saw something produced by Mark, he wasn't addressed as a wood turner. He was a wood slicer. And I made a comment, I was telling Ronnie about it. Ronnie says, no, you got to watch him cut. You watch him cut one time and you'll give that wood turning thing a whole nother phrase, because, you know, he doesn't do cutting, he does slicing.
Also look at his tool. It's about a 20-degree grind on it because he's cutting 2x4s or soft wood. The softer the wood, the lower the angle you can go. You get into the hardwoods, you got to go back to 40 degrees, but soft wood, you'll see him tonight. In fact, I think he sharpens them on a belt sander, if I remember right. Anyway.
Well, I've done that.
Yeah.
I should have seen a look on the folks at the hardware store face when I said I need some 600 wheel belt wheels, 600 grit belt wheels. What are you dumb? I said, I'm gonna clean some Corey in. You know, oh, okay. And they ordered for me. Had to explain it. Hey, Tim Hatch is out there. Tim, you got a little something to show tonight?
Well, you know, good evening, everybody. I had surgery last week, so I had to bow out of the meeting early and, you know, on meds and whatnot, changing bandages and all that fun stuff. So the wife finally let me in the shop the other day and said, hey, turn me a little something. So I did. My very first job.
Cute.
All right.
Break it.
No, I didn't break it. And of course, that's, you know, 2x4. So it came out all right. I didn't sand it or anything. I left it for my granddaughter so she could play with. But yeah, I'm starting slowly to get out in the shop. I spent about 35, 40 minutes on the lathe today. Started making a bowl for my sister-in-law, and the backside said, "Yeah, that's you're done for the day." So I'm cooking dinner, and I'm just going to be sitting down and watching the meetings. So I just want to say good evening to everybody, and didn't do much, but doing the recovery from the surgery. So we'll see how that goes.
All right, well, you take care, sir.
Nice to have you, Tim.
Very much, very nice.
Thank you.
Hey,
Right.
Tim,
Hey,
you know what that looks like? Instead of a little cup, it looks like an old-fashioned hard-boiled egg server.
Exactly what I was thinking, Sue.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
Yeah,
does.
well, I mean, technically, you know, a goblet and an egg, a hard-boiled egg server, are basically the same thing. So nice job, Tim.
Yes.
Yeah. Looks great.
said hard-boiled eggs. I'm not an elitist. I don't eat those restaurants, but one day I ate in a really good restaurant in New Orleans, and that was where the soft-boiled egg came in.
Right.
Just like that.
Mhm.
And it got the waiter just tapped it with a spoon a little bit and lifted the top off. It was amazing. I'm not going to go through that much trouble. I can boil them and eat them. I don't have to do much. Back my favorite way.
I did have a question though. That new Powermatic, the tailstock seems to be as I'm cranking down on the quill going into a spur center, and of course I got the tailstock cranked down as tight as it'll go, and I'm cranking into the spur center. It seems to me that tailstock is loosening up. Should I go up underneath there with the ratchet and tighten that thing up?
Is it sliding? Is it sliding, Tim?
It's sliding very slightly.
Well, it might just be a new bed.
Well, I mean, it is. It's brand new lathe, so I was just wondering if that was kind of
Yeah,
normal.
I did tighten mine on my Powermatic 3520B, so
Okay.
long time ago. So
I
it
noticed
might come a little loose.
on my banjo, it was a little loose, and I would put the pressure on, and then the bar would start raising up a little bit, giving me some relief. So I went in and fiddled with that a little bit, but I was thinking maybe I might do the same thing for the tailstock. But before
Tim, when you're under there, clean it with some alcohol, the whole track.
Yeah,
because when they machined it, there's gonna be some residue of that machining oil, because that's a raced area, and it doesn't take much residue underneath to make that thing slide.
Okay. I'll give that a try. I got some DNA out there in the shop. So when I get back in the shop tomorrow or the next day, I'll wipe it down again with some DNA and we'll go from there. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. I went to a club demo one time and they rolled in a jet, 16-inch jet. And the guy started spraying it. I really love this product, that yellow and blue labeled stuff. And he went to spraying a whole bed, wiping it all down and all. And you could see where it ran over the ways and went down. And he was sliding the tailstock back and forth. And he said, moving good. The guy at demonstration was having a fit because he'd lock it down and they just walk on back. Lock it down and just keep walking on back. And they were talking about it being loose. It wasn't loose. That stuff leaves a residue oil, and that oil will cause anything to slip. It's personal opinion. The worst thing you can ever spray on the bed of your lathe. It is a lubricant, and it's actually, it doesn't work for a good lubricant. I'd rather a dry one, honestly. I use T9 by Boeing. I love it. I've also used a couple of others I picked up at the saw shop. And they're to treat the top of planer beds, table saw beds, router table beds, shaper beds, because you can put it on, wipe it a little bit, and it doesn't track onto your lumber or your materials. And that tracking you can't get out because it's with an oil-based product. So you be careful of what you're using on it. And remember, clean works good. Clean. Matt Harbor says he's got the show. You got something to show, Matt Harbor?
Yeah, I was digging around in my boxes and I finally found some coffee scoops that I made. I may have shown these, but I actually have them here. These are made with the Sally Alt method, and the handles are just shop 2x4s, and the cups are walnut. So I got a whole bunch of them that I made. These are a lot of fun to make. So
I like the crossing.
This is a 1/4 inch. I'm sorry, what was that, Eddie?
I like the crossing of the colors. See inside the bowl, you got the inside the cup.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yep, and it's just, that's another use for the 1/4 inch Forstner bit and the 1/4 inch wrench for measuring. So the tenon is 1/4 inch in here. So, and the finish is super glue. And then some of you all have been watching my Facebook. I've been doing snowmen this week. So I got a bunch of them.
Whoa.
Oh, that's so cool.
Bigger than I was expecting.
Yeah, this is.
I didn't realize he was that big.
He's small. This is the big one. They all come with arms.
Okay.
Oh, that is
Oh my goodness.
So I try to do them themed, and I got a couple of them that people that
Oh, I like that.
The eyes are so expressive.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And people ask me, where'd you get your eyes? And I just Googled cartoon eyes and this is a steampunk one, and took took like about eight or nine of them or so that I really liked, and just copied them and practiced drawing them for a couple minutes, and then those are the ones I use. So, but they're a lot of fun. This guy, very happy guy. So that's a.
How tall are they?
The tallest one is this guy is about 12 inches tall.
Okay.
So I think it's 12 inches. What's that?
Are they solid?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're like 2.5 pounds.
Wow.
I like the expression on their face.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I get like on Facebook, I get all these comments that people are like, making up stories about them and stuff.
Yeah, that's neat.
Last year I posted a picture, like I'd done 6 of them one day, and then I had them all set up and I posted a picture of them, and some of them were looking at other ones to the side, and it was like, there was this whole ongoing discussion about what they were all thinking and doing. So it's pretty funny.
Yeah, a lot of people put eyes on them, but the expression is, that's worth it.
Yeah, and this is all based on, Holly Denny has expressly asked me not to blame her or comment, but she's the source for this sort of decoration. I mean, we've all made snowmen, but the next level up is what Holly's doing, and this is based on what she did. And her eyes, she likes goofy eyes. So her faces are goofy. Mine are like, I don't know. I like mine are a little happier and less goofy than hers are. I don't know. I just like a different set of eyes, you know. So, but
They-
They're beautiful,
but
man.
they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, makes it,
What's that?
really makes it, yeah. Really
Yeah,
makes it, yeah.
I think so too. Yeah, and it's like, you know, like this guy here, he's looking off to the side, and you know, this guy here, he's up to something, you know.
Watch your back around that one.
That's right. Yeah, don't leave them all together down in the shop somewhere where they can all be up to something.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
Yep.
All righty. If folks, if you have something to show for gallery tonight, we got a little bit before we go to our demonstrator this evening. Just throw it in the chat. Say I have something to show. That's what Matt did. That's what Tim did, and we'll call upon you. And once we introduce you, because we're looking at a screen that's got 57 pictures on it right now, it's hard to pick out your name on that little bitty screen. Once you start talking, and it pops up, we see a little outline around it, easier to find. Jim Selby's out there. Jim Selby says he's got something to show. Let's see how this works out. Jim?
Yeah, I got something. Let me shift over to screen. Hold on. All right. I made a seam ripper out of acrylic. I don't like acrylic, but that's what they wanted. And then I made 2 more crosses.
Those are nice.
Love that.
Easy to make and fun.
Great job.
All right.
What?
And Jim, folks, if you didn't know this, Jim is the chairman of our own Navy committee for getting freedom pens to the Navy. And this is the time of the year, if you're turning pens, to get them out there, because we do want the troops protecting our freedom to know that we care. We love them and we support them. So if you can find all those addresses on our Facebook, on our website. Just look them up, Freedom Pens. We have 5 or 6 folks that take care of getting them to specific troops. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it tonight. What I got? I got Charlie Bundy.
Yes, sir.
You skipped Tom.
I'm right here. Can you find
I
me?
skipped somebody.
There you
Okay,
go.
we're gonna
Yeah,
go.
that's right.
We're gonna get Tom Kenny in a minute. Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay. That's a bowl made out of an end cut of an older project.
Love that spot.
L.
Nice.
Nice,
Real
Charlie.
nice.
There it is.
Put it back up to see the ground so we can see the ground. You see the ghost, Brenda? You see the ghost?
I think it looks like a bird. We
Right.
got you, Eddie. We got you.
We got you. All right. Thank you, Charlie. It's beautiful work, sir.
And then I got one more here. This is what it came off of.
Wow.
This is,
Coffee grounds? Did you fill that with coffee grounds?
yep, I love coffee grounds. It looks more like bark.
Yep.
These elm trees have been dead for 35 or 40 years.
Oh my goodness.
Standing. And they lost all their bark. They dried and they started cracking. And they cracked a little more when they got cut down. And just for safety, Sue, that's a shop no-no right there. That was setting too close to the heating stove.
Ah. Mm-mm-mm. You got lucky there then, didn't you?
Oh yeah, if I was just going into my shop, I'd turn the heat on to get it warm, set this, I thought far enough away. Went out and did something while it was warming up, walked back in and the smoke was rolling.
Oh, my goodness.
Another minute or two and I'd had flames.
Oh, Charlie. Oh,
That was all I got.
Glad you got past that, Charlie.
no,
I'm
you stay
glad.
safe.
I want a new lathe, but not that bad.
Who else we have, Brenda? I forgot. I'm sorry,
Tom
I jumped
Kenny.
in there.
Tom
Tom Kenny.
Can you find me?
You want some water? Here, Don.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Oh, where did he go?
There he is.
There he is. Well,
There we go.
yes.
Often when I try something new that I've never done before, I take a junky piece of wood and give it a go, and usually it turns out better than I thought, and the next time I try it, it doesn't turn out so hot. I saw a bowl in a bowl. I've seen it several times online, and this is my attempt at it. And again, it was just something that should have been in the wood stove.
Wait, look closely, folks. Look real close.
That's so cool.
Oh, those are connected.
It's all one piece of wood.
Oh, man.
That's what I meant by look closely. That is a piece of work.
I have not seen that before.
Now,
That's
what I
cool.
should have done is if I had offset it properly, the lowest edge would have been below the outside edge. But it was fun enough to do. I think I'm going to try it with a better piece of wood last time, but this was a little sketchy. It had a knot going through it that wound up breaking off, and it had some punky areas. So it wasn't the ideal piece, but it was a good learning experience, and I'll have to give it another go.
That is gorgeous.
Well, thank you.
I think we're gonna need a demo of that.
Heck yeah.
Very definitely.
Not so much.
Can we see the inside of it?
Sure.
Get that thing up. Oh, look at the grain in that thing.
Hi, sweetie.
Boy, is that sweet. That is so nice.
Well, I guess the moral of the story is start with a better piece of wood.
Gorgeous. Oh no, that's pretty good anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That is gorgeous.
Gorgeous piece of wood.
Thank you.
I've never seen one like that before.
Thank you, Tom. That's some beautiful work. Wow.
Thank you very much.
Nice.
The new design, we see it all right here, worldwidewoodturners.org. And if you'd like to show stuff to put it in the chat, we'll get to you.
Accident.
Charlie?
Pardon me?
I said, I can make them look like that, but it's an accident.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Who's up, Sue?
Let's go to Randy Smith.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Randy, what's up?
Well, somebody asked me a couple of weeks ago about the dust collector that I use. So, where is it here? It is, and I hope, let me get over there first and pull it up. Where is it?
Now you're coming up, Randy.
You're getting there.
Something's wrong here. Let me try this again. There it is. This is the dust collector hood I use for my pens. This is the back of it with a dust collector built in. It mounts with magnets on the bed of my lathe, and on the top it has a quick sand shield. And let's see if I can go to the next screen here. This is the bottom of it, showing the magnets, and this is the front of it. The nice thing about this is that the Lexan makes it so I don't have to really wear a face shield while I'm doing this. My tool reaches right underneath that shield, And my banjo slides right under the brace. And this is with it open. And,
Oh, I see.
and I think there's one more. This is from the side. Now, the only critical measurement here is the opening for this hole. Center line of that hole has to be on the center line of your lathe, and the magnets have to hit the bedways. Now, anybody who has, I'm not sure what lathes are made with stainless steel bedways, but magnets won't stick to those. I also, let me see if I can do this. Can you see that?
See a square.
Okay, let me
See you.
Back to you now.
Where is
That's pretty cool.
this is the
There we
3D
go.
This is the 3D model I made of it. And so this shows the actual thing, and it can be spun around.
Oh my.
This piece, this center of this cutout has to be on the center line of your lathe. That's really the only critical dimension on the whole thing. And the cutout has to be big enough so that whatever you use for a tailstock or in the headstock will go through that hole. And that's about it.
That makes sense.
Now, you said a moment ago about the magnets. You're a pretty crafty guy. Couldn't you put a 3/4 inch bottom in there above those two sleepers that you have the magnets on and put a hold down device through your ways?
Yes, you could.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you have like the stainless steel ways, yeah, you can put some kind of a lockdown underneath there.
Yeah. That's nifty. What is the chance of you sending that sketch to our master webmaster?
Sure, I can do that.
Dave, you all right with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
I can either send you the sketch or I can send you photos of it.
Well, actually,
Hey,
the sketch
help.
and the photos.
About both.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
I
send
tell you what, Dave's always looking for help. Just send the actual dust shield to him, you know.
Absolutely.
I thought about making another one. This one is about 8 to 10 years old, so it's getting a bit dated.
But it looks great. It looks great, sir. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And I have to, I wasn't joking just now about I was joking about sending the shield, but we do strive to get input from our members to add them to our website. We currently have the finest website dealing with wood turning in the entire world. And our webmaster, Dave Rhodes, takes care of it. And he puts in the stuff that you and I go looking for. I don't want to see the weird stuff and the oddballs and all that. I want to see technique and shop ideas and things that you do in your place that makes your turning easier and better. And I got to go along with Safety Sue and make it safe. So if you have something, send it to us, contact us. Oh yeah, really, thank you, Charlie, for mentioning that, Safety Sue was there and you almost had a fire and you take the precautions and avoid it in the future. But folks, it's that time of the year, the heaters are coming out. Mine's right here behind me because it's just a little nippy in here. So if you're dealing with heat, be it electric, gas, torpedo type, or anything else, please think about where it's at and what it affects. And because if you had paint thinner in the shop in just a can, and it's in the range of the heater, that can explode. It's called the bleve, and it'll swell up and pop like a bomb. And you don't want that to happen. Oh, you don't want it to happen. All right, Sue, down in this area, New Orleans area, yesterday we got in the news, there was a priest named Jarfro, and I can't remember his first name. He was killed last night working on a lathe. He had a blowout or blow up and he was damaged and he died from it. I've asked the crime investigator that's handling the case to give me more specifics, but he said right off, he was working with a wood tool without all the right protection. Right off. So let's get protected. Just like you saw a minute ago from Randy Smith, he's got the little plexiglass shield in front of him. He's turning a pin. That's protection. I read something when somebody got a used one-way lathe. Good deal. I mean, I saw it. It's 20 years old. My baby's 20 years old. And he said, isn't this a great deal? Somebody threw in, it's a good deal, get rid of the shields. Really? That's all I could respond. Really? Get rid of the safety equipment? This guy that got the lathe may need those shields. He may be a novice or a beginning turner, even an experienced turner. And those shields one day will save his life. Don't get rid of them. Use them. Whew. All right. If you got something to show, just let us know, and we'll pop right up to it. Somebody else was in there. Brenda's handling calling up gallery tonight. Brenda, I missed somebody. I know I did.
Nope, that's it.
Did Jim
Okay.
Duxbury get to show his?
Who?
Jim Duxbury.
See, I didn't see that. That's the one I missed.
Oh, I missed
Oh, I
that.
slipped
too.
by, huh?
Hey, don't chastise her. Don't chastise. She'll
No,
quit.
no,
chastise.
no way, no way. No way. Yeah, I could do one. Let me pick it here. Did that come up?
Ooh.
That's
Yes,
pretty.
indeed.
I've been doing stools. This is a little one. It's about 10 inches in diameter and foot high. Maple with sapelli legs. And the trim is the little spiral wheel with burnished with Paduke, and then a burn line on both sides of it.
I love the detail. Wow.
That's the bottom. Oh,
It's beautiful, Jim.
thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
I got it. This is my wife's. She did
Oh.
a maple burl.
Oh,
Oh,
Bottom. This is the top.
my.
And she's
Look at
That's
the beauty of this.
she's been cranking them out. She started sweeping the floor, and pretty soon I'm going to be sweeping the floor, I think. Anyway. And the other one is this is magnolia.
oh, that's pretty.
Magnolia down south. Well, magnolia grows down south, but here again, I think I've said this before. When you get trees from up north, you don't get grain this far apart. You know, trees grow really fast down here, and after you look at them for a while, you can tell roughly where they're from, north or south. Also, you can tell if they're grown in red dirt. This is the inside. There again, I think Jim used coffee ground. This is coffee ground in the side of this thing. It's about 12 inches in diameter.
Beautiful work.
That's it for me on that.
Thank you, Jim.
Hey,
Right.
hey, Jim.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim. Hey, let me ask you, going back to your wife's piece that you showed us,
Yeah.
can you bring that back up and let's talk a second?
There she is.
Yeah.
There
Welcome.
you go.
Here she is.
Hi, you're a very good turner.
I'm
No, there was a gentleman earlier that showed us an offset bowl.
Yeah, that's not offset though.
No, well, that was where I was going with the question. The way she made that flow into there, so she didn't offset that at all.
No, it kind of shows that in the picture, but
I'm so sorry. It looks like there was an offset effect,
Yeah,
and
but-
you went like straight through. Oh wow, really
side
pretty.
has a ring in it too.
That's what you got there was that ring on the back.
Yeah, there's a
It didn't quite look like that in the picture. That is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Well,
Yeah,
the
she
wood
does.
is beautiful. The wood is a really nice piece of wood.
After every storm,
Love
we
it.
call about
Very
a
nice.
tree down somewhere. And
Mhm.
usually it's a 60-inch diameter oak tree or something, and they want you to clean the whole yard up. But this one, this guy, in fact, I don't even look at oak anymore. But this guy called and he had a tree down, and so I talked to him for a little while, and I said, "Is it oak?" And he says, "I don't know what it is, but it's not oak. It's got these bumpy things all over it." So I said, "Well, we'll go out and look at that." This thing was about 28 inches in diameter and about 26 feet long, I think, and it was solid burl.
Oh my
We got a
goodness.
ton of stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I've probably shown you this before, but you know, I turn a lot of stools, and for people who really like them, I give them a stool sample.
That's terrible. You know, we're a GP rated show, okay?
Oh my goodness.
I had an uncle that would do that kind of
It's hard to
stuff.
make those. Anyway,
Yeah, they were.
I have stool samples all over the country, believe it or not.
Oh my goodness.
Always brightening our life. Thank you, Jim. That was beautiful.
Yeah.
All righty.
Let's
In
go
a
to
little
Mark
while, we're
Sillay.
going to have a demonstration by Mark Sillay, but right now, let's see what he's got. Talk, Mark. Okay,
caught up
talk,
with that?
Mark.
He's muted. I don't know if, is he away?
Well, he put something in the chat. I got something
Yeah,
to
he said he
show.
wanted to show us something.
Okay, I unmuted. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yep.
There he
Oh, we
is.
got you.
Okay, let me go over here. Some of my students have been asking me about doing cutting boards. And so I've done a lot of cutting boards. And let me flip my camera around here just a minute. Let me get this thing turned around. Okay, there we go. So this is a piece of cherry, just 8-quarter cherry. And so what you're going to do is you're going to make a gravy groove on top, and you're going to make a concave on the bottom so that it sits out on the wide thing. And it's real simple. And the reason it's that shape is so you can grab them in the cold jaws.
That's nifty.
That's
And all you
pretty-
got to do is rub, soak it with walnut oil and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that'll take care of that here. Okay.
You're back with us. You're back with us in a little while for a demo.
Yes, sir. I've got the lathe all geared up here. I'm ready to roll.
All right, we'll be back
All
to you in a little
right.
bit. Thank you, Mark.
Let's go to Ronald Todd.
Okay.
For those members who don't know, Mark Sillay's got some excellent videos out there dealing with slicing. You need to see it. Right now we're with Ronald Todd. Hey, Ronald.
Hello, everyone. Not a lot this week. I did finish. I got a lot in progress, but I just finished up 4 of these pendants for my grandkids.
Okay, pull it back towards your
Granddaughter.
Please, Ronald. There you go.
Gorgeous. What's in the middle of it?
That's abalone shell.
Oh, beautiful.
That's an inlay. Yeah, it's spalted apple with the abalone shell, and I just did a little sign thing on the back because they always like me to sign this stuff.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah, I got 4. I did 4 of them for the granddaughters.
You still got the rest of them there?
Oh yeah, I got them hanging up. They're I just finished putting lacquer on this afternoon, so they're a little touchy.
Well, they're beautiful.
They are.
Yeah, they
Beautiful.
turned out. That's all I got for now.
Look, I have
can't-
jewelry made by Grandpa. I got jewelry made by Grandpa.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
post them on. I can't post them on the site yet. It's too close to Christmas.
Right.
Where'd you get the shell, Ron?
I got it off Amazon.
Okay.
You can buy it in a sheet. It's sticky backed on one side. All you have to do is just trim out what you need, peel off the sticky stuff, and stick it right in place.
Hmm.
It's a little brittle, but
Yeah.
it cuts with scissors.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yep.
Trying to find out. Folks, we're talking or showing gallery here. In a little while, we'll do it today's demonstration. And everybody's invited to do that. Each week we talk about this. If you want to do a demonstration for us, it's easy. Just get on deck and tell us you want to do a demonstration, and we'll make arrangements. Our demonstration coordinator is I'm sorry, I got to do this because I got to get rid of some noise. Okay, now I've muted everybody. If you want to talk again, you have to unmute yourselves. But we invite everybody to demonstrate, and we see some awesome technique and design ideas and the uses of equipment. And many of them that you can take from, just now you saw Ronald did the little medallions. Okay, you can take that up, you can take that down. You can put it on both sides. You can have a little fun with it. What is it? It's a block of wood that you've practiced turning in your shop. How do you hold it? Do it with a jam block. Jam block. Put double stick tape on it. I like that blue one from Sure Tape. Put that double stick tape on it. If you take general cuts, you can turn it. You want to flip around, make a little depression in the same glue block. Then when you push it up against the glue block, it'll match it perfectly. You can move it a little bit off center. You can rack it over, rack it back, or whatever. It's a beautiful way to practice your art. And when you get done, you've made somebody happy. So give it a try. And by the way, we're going to have an ornament challenge. We haven't picked the date yet. We have to pick the date. I can't look at my calendar because I'm here. But we're going to pick a date before Christmas, and we'd like to see the ornaments you make. You can take a picture of them. We can see the photograph. If you want us to show the photograph in a better format, email it to worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. And we'll use your photograph to show your work. We'll give you credit for it, of course. But we want to see what you come up with. And now we had such a great turnout on Birdhouse. We're going to keep this program going with that. We're going to come up. I got another one that said gnomes. We need to do gnomes next year. Okay, next year we'll do gnomes. That I got to see. I can do it with the same haircut Billy Burt's got. Nothing.
Let's see what Dave Kingsley's got. There he is.
Dave, you're quiet.
I am.
Okay, now you are. Now you're not.
I don't get a lot of shop time lately because of babysitting the grandson, but I managed to get out and make this little maple bowl.
Beautiful.
Looks
very
pretty washed out with this light, but it's got
yeah.
a nice grain to it.
Can you put it on the other side of you?
You stand on one leg?
No.
Oh.
There you can sort of see
like
the
a
grain.
nice finish on that.
Looks good.
Actually, there's no finish on it. It's just it's just bare wood.
Very nice.
I got it turned, but I haven't had a chance to do anything else with it. I tried experimenting with a couple of little rings in the bottom. I've seen other guys do, but I'm of mixed feelings about that. But
I like the rings.
But
Very
I have a
thin.
question. What do you guys feel about the saleability of something with a little crack like that in the edge?
I'm okay with it.
No. I mean, it's
somebody buys it, it means it's sellable.
Yeah, it's good shot, but yeah.
No, it's the character of the wood. Don't take the character away.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there's
all
a
got different
ton
lights.
of things you can put. Ton of things you can put into it to color it or disguise it and all. But do you really want to or need to?
Well, I feel differently if there's a crack internally or something, but when it's right on the edge like that, I just question it.
You know, I don't. I think it's the art of the piece. And if they want it exactly perfect, buy Tupperware. this is art. Yeah.
There you go.
But that's all I've really done
Finish
is
on
to
it,
get
it'll make it
done.
more durable, so.
Yeah, I mean, I probably will end up with, what I've been doing lately is I use a butcher block on the inside and Howard's feed and wax on the outside.
Yeah, that'd
But
be nice.
Howard's doesn't say they're food safe, and the gallery that I take things to, they insist that they should be food safe if possible, so.
But Dave, we're not supposed to do it on gallery, but Mark Sillay a few minutes ago said he's going to treat his butcher blocks with walnut oil. That's food safe.
But is that the walnut oil you would buy in the grocery store or a special walnut oil? Like, no, I can't remember his name now. Who does the walnut oil?
Mahoney.
Mahoney's.
Mahoney's would be
Mark.
considered food safe, but not the stuff from the grocery store. I mean, it's
Exactly,
food safe. It's food safe, but it's not allergenic or non-allergenic.
Yeah, that's what I'd be concerned about. If I'm giving it to a family member or something that I know isn't sensitive to nut oils, then that's one thing. But just to sell it in the store, I wouldn't. And
The only thing that I use is the cold expeller expressed walnut oil that is non-cooked. Right, you can buy it at the farmer's market or whatever. You can get it from Spectrum, right? Oils in California, they press all the oils of every nuts. But the reason I use the walnut oil is because for two reasons. Number one, it is it kills everything other than another walnut tree, right? It's why it's got jugulinic acid in it. And the next reason is if you use the pure walnut oil, it's not been cooked and everything, it will polymerize. So that means when I soak a bowl or something like that, I'll soak the bowl until it takes no more oil, or this cutting board until it takes no more oil. Then in about 3 or 4 months, it will totally polymerize inside the cells, and it will be hard as a rock. So that you can, if you want to wash the thing with detergent or something like that, you can. And then, treat the outside every now and then. But it's one of the few oils in the world that will totally polymerize. And it is a herbicide so that no mold or funk or anything else will ever grow on your bowl.
Right.
The reason I don't use the particular oil with the beeswax in it is because it will not penetrate as far through the wood. I want it to totally penetrate and totally polymerize and be totally hard.
yeah, I used walnut oil when I first started turning, the stuff you buy in the supermarket. And I really liked the finish, but I got, flack back. Well, what if somebody gets this who's nut sensitive? And so I switched. But
All
that's
right.
where I'm
Well,
at.
we're here for it.
You can go to mineral oil. You can use mineral oil, which is it's a low grade paraffin. It's a petroleum product.
Yeah, but that doesn't dry as well, does it?
No.
It never dries.
But that's it. Thank you so much.
I don't think
Thank
I'd
you,
sell
sir.
a bowl with a crack in it for food. I don't know, that's just me.
Well, the crack is sealed.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
but
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate the show tonight. Hey, a lot of information bouncing back and forth here. If you got something to show for gallery tonight, pop it into the chat. Say I have something. I'd like to show it. Boom, we'll be there with you. I had a request this week, and it's on my phone, but I don't answer my telephone right now. Not that I don't like you or anything. Today I had 30 spam calls, and I'm kind of in the healing mode right now, and I'm told to limit some distractions and all that stuff. So I don't answer my phone. So if you need me, just send me an email or a text. But somebody contacted me and said, how do I get a members list? It's so easy. It is. Now, if you want to be part of the list, because we don't do a roster, because everybody's invited, most of y'all didn't pay, but that's okay. But if you want to be on our members list or our contact list, that's the best way to put it, contact list. All you have to do is put the information you wish for us to share with our members. And that's what you give us. If you want to do your name, your address, your phone number, your website, whatever, you can do that. If you just want to put your name and the town you live in, you can put that in. But put the information you want us to share with the other members, and you put in a chat. Our master webmaster, Dave Rhodes, pulls it out of the chat before he posts the chat on our website, pulls that information out, and he'll add the information you provide us to the contact list. Then if you go to our website under the contact us, you'll see a little thing that says members list. Click on that, and there's a screen that you fill out. Fill it out exactly as it says. The subject is Captain, CAPTAIN. No more, no magic. It says unclick a box, unclick the box. It says put this phrase in, type it in exactly as it says. We don't want the bots. See, I said about my phone, I got 30 bot calls today. We don't want to put your name out there on a list that a bot can get and just pop it up there and everybody get all this junk mail. So that's our contact list, and we love it. We want you to be part of it. Now, another thing we offer is an event calendar. And I see that Cade went in there this week with a piece he's got coming up on plates and platters. That's Cade Bolger. He's at Canada. He's one of our members. And also saw Scott Hampton from the West Coast. And Scott's got a project coming up. And since we're non-commercial, we don't run ads for them. But we take the information they put in our chat, right over there in the chat. They put in what they'd like us to share. Dave takes that out and puts it on our event calendar. Anything dealing with wood turner can be on a event calendar. Anything by anybody. They don't have to be a member. They don't have to join. They don't have to have an ad or a commitment. Don't give us anything. We're here to share information. So share it with us. That includes club meetings. If your club meeting goes out by YouTube or even on Zoom, which that's an excellent way to do a meeting is go through Zoom, and you want to share that information on how to join this, whatever, put it in the chat and everybody can join you. I used to belong to a club that thought if you're not a member, you didn't get the right to see what's happening in a club. The right. We're here to share information. There's nothing secret happening. Everything you see here tonight, feel free to use. That's what we do it. We have members, you just saw a little while ago, one of our members showed us how to make a dust shield to go on your lathe when you're turning, to pull the trash and crap away from here. That was shared. Last week we had one on the a fitting of a tailstock. And just a couple of weeks ago, we had a whole meeting dealing with tips and tricks. And I get right now, Jim Duxbury's had us all scratched our head at night. How did he come up with all this stuff? But he shared it all. And that's what we want you to do. Let me pop in here. You got somebody up right now, Brenda?
How about Ray Davis?
How about Ray?
Here we go.
You got me?
Yeah.
Well, I got another segmented bull to show tonight.
Hold on. I want to take a deep breath before you raise that.
Okay. I'll put sunglasses on.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
It's called Big Flower.
Wowzer.
Wow. Yeah, it's nice, Ray.
That's beautiful.
It's a little different because I normally use open segment. And on this one here, it's closed segment, 48 pieces per row. and each row is only 0.15 inches thick. So I couldn't figure out how I was going to make a ring out of a 48 segments that thin. So I had to use an index wheel, which meant I really had to cut each one of those segments perfect to get them to line up. And unfortunately, I was a little bit stupid. I used too small of a block to mount it on, and I got a small catch towards the end, and it flew off the lathe and broke into 3 pieces. I was able to glue it all back together and finish turning it and finishing it. And so,
Oh my goodness.
it worked out. And I had to have a Band-Aid because of that. Not because I didn't have a shield on, but as it rolled off the back of my lathe, it came back forward and hit me in the shin, and I got a little cut.
Oh, put him on the Band-Aid brigade.
Yeah, put me on the Band-Aid.
Oh, that thing
That is some,
gorgeous.
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
real nice.
My goodness.
Well, my God, I took a deep breath before I saw that one.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's nice.
I almost said some bad words as that came flying off the lathe.
Almost.
Oh, I'll bet. All that work.
Well, I did. I have to tell the truth.
Not many of us wear shin guards.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Have to
Oh,
add
don't get Sue started on
safety
that.
equipment.
But you can see how, I think you can, how thin each one of the segments is. It's 0.15. So it was fun. Took me about 2 weeks to finish it, and then to have it land on the floor was kind of disheartening.
Yes, definitely.
But I think I saved it.
Imagine.
Well,
You did a
saved
great job of saving.
Yes, very nice save.
Thank you.
it's beautiful.
That's all I
Gorgeous.
got
Oh my
tonight.
goodness. See if we can find John Shelfo. John,
Jersey
Right
John.
there you go.
Here I am. Can you find me?
Now we
There
got
he
you.
is.
Now you spotlighted. Go ahead, John.
Ray's a hard guy to follow. I just have a simple bowl. It's spalted tulip wood.
Oh, tulip wood and spalted. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a tree in front of my son's house. Cut it down so I grabbed some pieces. It looks really nice.
Nice.
In person.
John, I'm going to make a little correction here. You said a simple bowl. There is nothing simple about the work you do.
Yes.
It's all
Right. It's a bowl.
What finish did you put on that then?
I just put Howard's. I don't know, Howard's, whatever.
Feed and wax.
Yeah,
That is gorgeous.
beautiful piece, sir.
Yeah, it's Howard's Feed and Wax.
Yeah.
Are you going to sell that bowl or are you using that bowl?
No, I don't sell anything.
So are you actually going to use it then?
Yes.
Good, good.
Beautiful.
I hate it when somebody makes something like that. Especially, I'll give them a bowl to somebody like that, you know, and then tell them, it's food safe, use it. No, it goes in the china cabinet. I'm like, no, use it.
I don't sell anything. I just give it away. Family and friends.
Okay. And do they use it then?
Yeah, they do.
Good, good. Everybody I hear keeps saying, oh no, I put that away. It was too nice. No, I made it to use. Use it. All right. That's very
all I got.
That's all
Thank
we
you,
got
John.
again right now.
You're welcome.
All right. Again, if you have something to show, we got about 6 minutes before we start our demonstration tonight. We'd like to show it and share your information. Oh yeah, they're gonna, here you go, members. They're gonna ask how big it is, how thin it is, what tools you used, what finish you have. I mean, what finish you have is the number one question around here. Everybody wants to show their work. And like John said, I made a simple little bowl. Nothing simple little about what you do. And there's no gradient here. Remember, we have a no butt guarantee. We have a no butt guarantee. You can look at that piece and say, I like it, but no, you can't. The butt can't come out. You can talk about somebody's work, but you can never, you have to be kind. That's the goal of this club. You have to be kind and always want to see what folks turn. It used to bug the heck out of me when I go to a meeting and that have some guy critiquing work. Who made him the critic? Who gave him that hat? Nobody.
Hey, Eddie,
So, yes, ma'am.
I got something to show. I just realized that the cup I'm using, you've not seen it.
No, I like that.
Well, I don't like the mulberry with the black walnut, but remember I had bought these to-go cups. I didn't glue
Yeah.
it in because I figured, you can take it out and wash it. But it stays in there nice.
I like that idea.
That's great. I like that.
Yeah. And I had a lot of cracks in the mulberry. Well, I think even in the black walnut, I filled the black walnut here. And matter of fact, I used in 2 spots. Can you see that? Does it glitter? Does it shine right there?
A little bitty bit.
Yeah, just a little bit here, a little tiny bit there. I used brass shavings from a Keymaker. Like a little bit of brass.
Cool.
So
Good idea. It
I
looks
like
it's not real heavy. It's real thin.
so 3408.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Beautiful, Brenda. Beautiful.
Looks
You
nice,
hear how
Brenda.
thin it is?
Ooh. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty thin, but it's still strong. So, like I said, I don't really care for the black walnut with the mulberry, but that's what I had.
That's almost a segmented bowl.
Yeah, and I did it like I had said. I can't reach all the way down in there with my tools, so I turned this section, glued the canary to it, and then I turned it, and then I glued another piece of the black walnut to it, and turned it, and then glued this piece on and turned it. So that's what I
It's a
ended up.
good way to go about it.
Yeah.
You were never limited. You're not never limited by the tools you have. You're limited by the creativity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Came out nice.
Thank you. I got 3 more
Brad.
to make.
Brenda, have you ever put a handle on one?
No,
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to put a handle on one.
I don't understand how. I don't see how you would do that.
Well, that's what I'm
I've
trying
got
to
a
find
coffee
out.
mug. I have a coffee mug that Ron Radliff made for me, and it's got a beautiful handle on it. Put all kinds of artwork on it. It's really nice. Thank you, Ron. I know he's out there. Okay, let's pop over here. If we have anybody else for gallery, pop in there. Heather's had a question for us. Heather, that's in the chat. See if you can ask that question. We get some more input. Heather, are you there? Talk to us.
Heather isn't Heather usually.
Hi. Hi. Yeah, I'm working.
Okay, there you are.
But I'm here. Yeah, I'm just wondering what makes a professional turner. How do you get that title? I'm just curious. I know I'm far from that, not even close, but I'm curious.
Well, I've put my opinions in the chat, but if somebody else not related to you pays for your work, whether it's a $20 bowl or whatever, then you are now officially a professional because you're making money from your turnings. Okay. So, there's of course, that's a huge spectrum. But the bottom line is if somebody's willing to part with hard-earned cash for something you've made, then that, in my book, qualifies you.
Okay.
I'm mad if I had anybody that was related, they won't pay me for my turning.
Well, that's why my relatives don't have much of my work.
And my relatives don't pay either.
Now
They all want it for free.
When I first started out, well, see, in my experience, if somebody gets something for free, they don't really value it. This, of course, is probably does not apply to parents, but when I first started turning, I gave some small ornaments, Christmas ornaments, hanging ornaments to my mother. Well, and I'd been turning for 2 years when I did this. Well, I was back at her house about, I don't know, 5 years ago, and she had hung those things up. And I was like, look, Mom, if you give those to me, I'll give you much better ones. I want to put these in the fire. And she wouldn't let me.
That's how moms are, really.
Yeah. So that's why my caveat about if somebody not related to you is willing to pay you money, if a stranger is willing to pay you money for your work, then that in my book qualifies you as a professional.
Well, if I could sell like I did last weekend, I'd be a professional and be making good money.
Well, but you sold last weekend, so that qualifies you as a professional.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Whether or not you're paying your bills with it, or people are requesting you to come and demonstrate or customize things for them, there are levels, right?
Yeah.
Well, and there's one thing about it outside of my family. If somebody asks for it, I assume they're wanting to buy it.
Yeah.
My kids, they get it for free. But if somebody outside my kids and my wife and immediate family wants something, they're wanting it, they're willing to pay for it.
Yep. Okay. Well, I've got one piece going to Panama this weekend, so that's pretty good. But
Nice.
You're internationally
in 3 days, I made
recognized.
Internationally recognized professional, maybe even a master at this point.
Oh, wow, I like that.
We were going to send you a hat and everything, but now we got to change the artwork.
Oh yeah, change your membership, Captain.
That's okay. I'll take the plain old hat. I don't care. I'll wear it proudly.
Nice work, Heather.
Professional.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
I used to get a kick out of that when folks would say, we're going to have a professional turner evaluate your work. Evaluate my work? I really don't think I need that today. Still here? My T-Mobile really doing good for me tonight. All right. We got a pretty good crowd in the club tonight. Welcome everybody. Welcome new members. We've got a couple of basic rules. Number 1 is be kind. Number 2 is be nice. And number 3, we don't sell anything. Nothing at all. We don't promote a product, an item, or anything else. You heard somebody just now talk about this brand finish, that brand finish, this oil, that oil, sanding it, scraping it, or whatever. Those are users' comments. That's it. It's not that you can't do this with something else. We look for the options. Maybe you're doing it with something else and you like to look at the options or the alternatives. That's what we welcome. That's why we're here to share information. We have a demonstration coming up in just a moment. I'm going to mute everybody, and that way I can do this and explain that our demonstration is being done by one of our members. It is being done for free. We ask that you allow him to do his demonstration, him or her, do their demonstration, complete the demonstration. If you have a specific question about what they're doing, you may ask it during the demonstration. Please do not correct the turner. Remember our no but guarantee? I like it to do that way, but no. Wait till we get done the demonstration, okay? Because these folks have donated their time and their efforts and their talents to show you another piece of wood turning. Now we're going to go to Mark Sillay. Mark, you were silenced a moment ago, and you have to, I see you took it off mute. So Mark Sillay is going to do our demonstration this evening. Welcome, Mark. Glad to see you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Ray. Let me get this iPhone attached here over my lathe. Okay. Let me move this light out a little bit. Can everybody see the lathe?
Yes, sir. Looking at it, top dead center.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, everybody knows that I teach on 2x4s. And if you can slice wood on a 2x4 and
Just lost your
on any
sound.
hardwood. Hello? Can you hear me?
We're there. You cut out a little bit, but we're with
Hello?
you.
Can you
Mark?
hear me?
We have you, Mark.
Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Here we go. So what we've got a 2x4 attached on here, and I was asked to show how I make my little ornaments for the children to paint and some of the different shapes and everything. As I go along, I'd like to do a real quick review just for those that are new. I saw a guy tune in there that was new about wood slicing. Okay, so the difference for wood turning and wood slicing is very simple. If wood comes into the tool, it's always a scrape, no matter what tool you use, right? When you reorient the tool so that the tool is vertical to the rotation, then it acts like a little farmer's plow, and the curve of the tool is going to gradually lift and curl the wood, and you're going to be slice. Okay, we're going to start out here. I'll just take a roughing gouge real quick. Let me get a roughing gouge. If I take a roughing gouge, all right, I got to change my light here. I got to change it. Okay, can everybody still see? Okay. Okay, if I take my roughing gouge and I do this, then the wood was coming into the tool and you can see the surface. Can anybody see that surface where it's all roughed up?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we reorient the tool, right, so that the wood rotation is in line with the blade, like this comes past the blade. As you can see, there's no sanding required whatsoever. It's absolutely pristine, shiny, and no tear out. So that's what we're going to try to accomplish with every tool. That's what I teach. Anyway, so the first thing we have to learn is how to get into the wood without having a screw back, which we call the east-west rule, right? If the flute faces this direction, then the tool has to enter the wood in that direction, no exceptions. If the flute faces this way, we have to always enter the tool that way, no exceptions. If we cross, if we have the flute this way and the tool pointed that way, then everybody can see that it's called a catch or a screw back. That's the east-west rule. So if your flute faces to the east, then you can enter to the east. If your flute faces to the west, the tool has to enter to the west. We always see people putting their thumb on a tool because they don't understand the east-west rule. They're trying to physically prevent that screw back. Not good. Anyway, so when this tool enters the wood, we stick it with the flute straight up and down. So that's what we call 12 o'clock. And then we're going to turn the tool. If I'm going this way, I'm going to twist the tool after I have bevel contact I'm going to twist it back to 11 o'clock. That lets the point go in like a farmer's plow, and the bottom portion of that blade is going to lift and curl the wood, just like the dirt is curled on. Okay, so here we go. We're going to make a simple straight line V cut. We're going to, remember he says, so we stick it at 12, we roll it back to 11, and we slowly arc it to the center. To go this way, our flute's facing to the west, so we stick it at 12, twist the tool to 1, and we arc it into the center. 12, 11, arc to the center, 12, 1, arc to the center. And as you will see, absolutely no sanding required whatsoever. Now, to get rid of this little garbage in the middle, right? Everybody wants to move their tool this way and try to dig it out. No, sir. Watch this. 12, 1. We arc to the center. As soon as the point of my tool is directed toward the center of rotation, all I do is turn and twist back to 12. I come back down here. I'm at the 1 o'clock. As I approach the center, then I twist back to 12. And there's no whizzers. It is absolutely clean. That's a V cut. Now to make a cove, real simple, we're going to make a V cut. We're going to remove the material to give the tool a place to go without jamming it. So now I've got the heel of my hand on the tool rest. That's the fulcrum that I'm swinging my body with the point, pushing the cut line. I'm going to twist it. As I go through, I'm gradually going to increase the twist. And in the V cut and the bead, the tool has to go to the center of rotation. In a cove, the tool has to end up above the center of rotation. So I'm going to push. I'm going to lean my body to the right. That makes the tool go to the left. As I do that, I drop the tool and I twist. Here we go. 12, 1, push, lean, drop, twist. 12, 1, push, lean, drop, and twist. Absolutely no, that wood is sliced, no sanding required. Now this is not a 2x4. Now when you start working with, dogwood and gaboon ebony and, maple and things like that, you'll find that it's even cleaner. So now I have to lean back this way with the handle as I go in. So I'm going to go 12, 11, push, lean, drop, and twist. See how that goes right above the wood? 12, 11, push, lean, drop, and twist. And when I the cut is all the way down the side of the parabolic curve. Let's go even that up. And we get a code. Okay, to do a bead, right? The reason people can't make beads is they never start on the equator, right? The bevel always has to be 90 degrees to the equator, period. If you go in like this, it's not parallel to the equator. And you get a little corner. See, you get a little corner. Their beads look like that. If I go forward and I bring the handle around and I go down toward the center of rotation, then I get a bead. I'm going to take the corner off. Okay, here we go. I'm on the equator. I make the cut line. Now I'm pushing the cut line all the way around, down to the center of the, and I get half of a bead. And you'll see that there's no tear out. It's completely sliced. Now to go this way, I have to do what? I have to make a place for the tool to go. So I have to make a V cut here. Now I've got a place for the tool to go. I'm back on the equator, make my cut line, and I go around and down to the center of rotation. And everything is sliced clean. Okay, so all we have is beads, coves, flats, discs, and points. So to make a flat, I'm going to take the side of the blade, go halfway down the blade, and I'm going to lock my heel to the tool rest. And all I'm going to do is rotate my hip to the right, and the tool is going to go to the left. And it's a skew cut. You see that? No torn fiber. Let me do that one more time here.
Yeah. Hi.
Okay. Okay, so now we're going to make a point. We make a point very simply by taking the center of the tool, 12, and we're going to take it to the center of rotation. Now I'm going to back this off. So here, all the way to the center. I'm going to make this sharp point. You see that? I got it down to one fiber. Now, to make the discs, right? What we're going to do is we're going to put the spindle gouge 90 degrees to the spindle, and we're going to twist it to the 1 o'clock cutting position. We're going to lock the heel of our hand onto the tool rest, and all I'm going to do is lift the handle up and let the tool go down. So that means that the bottom blade touches the wood first and clears the way for the point. Here we go. Where it's twisted to the 1 o'clock position, I lift up, I touch the bottom blade. And that's all I need to do. Now to make that sharp disc, right, I put the point, see this edge right here? I put the point behind that edge and I lift up again on the handle. And even on a 2x4, I get sharp edges. And you see those sharp, I'll put my hand underneath, get some contrast. You see those sharp edges? So those are the only 5 cuts in wood turning, period. There are no other shapes. Everything's a combination of beats, coves, flats, discs, and points. Okay, so going on to how I make my ornaments. These are all basic children's ornaments that children can paint. They're made out of 2x4s I use. Let me undo this. I'll put a new one in there. Any questions while I'm changing blocks here?
All I can say is wow.
At some point, Mark, show them how you grind that tool.
Okay, I will. All right, let's get this in here. Yes, folks, you can do this fairly adequately with a regular spindle gouge grind, but I use a convex back. I never use the concave back like you get off of a regular grinding wheel. Because this tool here, you see, I can do all of my roughing, I can do my shapes, and I can do all of my cutoff. I never use a parting tool to ever cut anything off a lathe because it's always a scrape, and you raise the fibers and you have to sand the bottom. Okay, here we go. What I'll do is I'll make some of the typical shapes that I make that you can reproduce. And this is really simple stuff, but let me tell you what, kids love these little ornaments to paint. I sell them for $3 a piece or $4 for 10. And if you want to time me, it only takes a few minutes to make. So I'm going to rough. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do everything with a spindle guide. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to make is I'll show you how I make my snowman. I'm going to pull this back. And if you ever, like the reason I stopped the lathe is to show you that if you ever have a doubt, if you ever say, did I tighten that chuck enough? Always go back. And if you ever have a doubt, take the time to make sure that you've got it tight. Okay. So the definition of a snowman is basically what has 3 balls and a hat. So we're going to make some beads. Now, when you make the bottom here, if you want this snowman to set up, then you're going to have to make a concave. What would happen if I touch the tool this way? It's going to bounce back at me. So as long as I have bevel contact, then I can go up underneath. I can go anywhere I want once I have bevel contact. So now I have a concave there that'll do that. And then what I like to do is I come up here and I'll sort of reduce the diameter. So now I've got a place for my tool to go. I go back on the equator. The bevel's 90 degrees the equator. You start turning it around, nice and slow. Let the tool eat itself into the wood. So now I've got to make the center section. Now where that whizzer is joined, I'm going to come back around. And my tool ends up at 12 o'clock to get rid of all the whizzers and make it clean. See this? We're coming around and then we go back to 12 o'clock. And it's absolutely pristine. Right? So now let's see. I'm going to have my center section. I usually make a little bit longer than the bottom section. So I'll do that. I'll get a basic shape. Then I come up here about so far and I make the bottom of the hat. So now I can take this off with a simple sideways move. We'll go ahead and we'll complete the body torso here. And now we'll go ahead and make the head. Roll around, make sure that tool comes back to the 12 o'clock position. See how clean that joint is? Right, and then we'll make a slight little indentation toward the head. And that's it. Now we have the snowman and the hat. Now I'm going to size the rim of the hat. Make a flat cut. So now I've got the rim of my hat. I'm going to make the top rim. And just hold the tool. Let it eat itself. Let it eat itself. If you try to jam it, this is unsupported. You're going to jam it off. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make the curve of the top hat. Just make a cove cut. Boom. We have the top of the hat. We're going to take some of this off. Right. Now we'll make some V cuts to give our tool a place to go. Come back in here, get to the edge of the hat. Slice it on down, make some V cuts, get it sort of thin. Then we'll have to go over here and support this. Right? We'll go in there and just hold the tool and it'll come off. And we have a nice little 2x4 with no sanding that a kid can paint. And then the only thing we do is we take a little thing, we'll punch it in here. Just give a little place for the eyelet to go. I use gold plated screw eyes so that they never tarnish like brass. Then all I do is I just twist it into the little hole. And we're done. You can get the gold plated screw eyes. They're 8mm, 4mm gold plated screw eyes. You get them off of Etsy. They're about $5 on it. So there you have a snowman that a child can paint. The next most popular thing is you see this right here? This is the waste part that's left. We can also work with that. But let's go on to the Christmas tree. Any questions on the snowman? Okay, we'll go to the Christmas tree. And you guys can do these things out of any type of scrap. It doesn't have to be a 2x4. But a lot of your construction sites have 2x4s laying out by the street. And people know that I give hundreds of these things to the hospitals and charities and all that for the kids to paint. So, but the biggest thing that you have to learn is how to use your tools and how to make the basic shapes. If you can't make the shapes, the basic 5 shapes, and use your 3 basic tools, right, then you're just putting yourself in for a lot of time with sandpaper and a lot of time messing around. That's just totally wasted. Okay, we're gonna make Christmas trees. Okay, so now we're going to use the technique of making a point. And if I start here and try to make this all the way, I'm getting deeper and deeper, and I'm going to throw this thing out of the chuck. So we always work backwards in all of our designs and woodturning, so that we're only taking like a 16th of an inch. Okay, so I've made the basic Christmas tree shape. Did anybody see that little wobble that occurred?
Yes.
So when I see that little wobble that occurred, I'm going to do what? I'm going to go over and take another bite on here. Now, if this Christmas tree is going to just be sitting, if you make a little forest of Christmas trees, then you can go ahead and you can make your point. And then we may make a pretty little ornament up on top. We'll roll a little bead here, maybe make a teardrop. See that? If we're gonna have this where it can hang on a Christmas tree, then we can't have this little ornament. So what I usually do is I put a ball. Let's get rid of that. So we'll put a little ball. Here we go. We'll roll a little ball. And now we can start doing our discs. Screw behind the edge, just lift up with your hand and hold to the left. Just make a series of these. It's an easy way to make a very attractive little Christmas tree. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've got to make the bottom part of the Christmas tree. We're going to have to take some V-cuts to get rid of material. We'll just say that this is the bottom part of our Christmas. Our V-cuts out, go a little bit farther. Take the V-cuts out, go a little bit farther. We'll take a final V-cut right up there. Roll back to 12 so that's nice and clean. We'll make a V-cut going this way to make a base. Take some V-cuts out. Give us a place to work. Now, I always like to have just a little chamfer, right, so that you can see underneath the base. So now, if I go in like this thing's going to go pow, right? So what I have to do, I have to lay my bevel on there first. If I lay my bevel, then I can turn my bow anywhere I want without catching. Go back up underneath. Right? Make a V-cut. Make that a little bit lower right there. Go up underneath. See, once you lay your bevel on there, you can go anywhere you want without any catches and screws. People don't understand that. So now I'm going to just put that back there, hold it, and it slices off. I've got it. I can't. Let me see where the. So what we've got a nice undercut, everything shiny and clean, and all those edges are pristine clean, even on a 2x4. And then we just poke our hole and we put our little ornament in. Any questions on a simple tree?
That's nice. No, I think it's beautiful.
You're really talented.
I didn't hear what somebody said.
So you're just very talented. That's very nice. Thank you so much.
Wait a minute, I'm gonna do the bell next. We're gonna do all the basic popular ones, and then you'll have an idea of how to do that or how I do them, right? Because again, this is material that is usually thrown away by construction companies. And it's just a whole lot of fun to recycle them and watch kids paint them. And I just cut my my 2x4s. You know, the 2x4s are like about 1.5, something like that. And I cut them in 6-inch lengths. And then I can get the I can get a ornament and a top out of each piece of wood. So. Can I ask you folks a favor? I have to go to the gym. Can I come back in about 5 minutes?
Certainly.
Hello?
Sure, Mark.
Oh, okay. Just do something else for 5 minutes. I'm going to be 80 years old. When you make your calls, you got to go. Thank you.
And we all know that feeling, right? All right.
Yeah. No lie.
All right, we have Mark Sillay doing our demonstration tonight. A little bit, we'll talk a little about how we sharpen that tool. One of the most enjoyable times of my life was sitting through a Mark Sillay morning class with the wood turning club. He was taking the tools and himself and going to the grinder and showing the people in the class how to sharpen their tool, what procedure he followed and how he swept it through and how he made it that fingernail grind. And it is really a fingernail grind. And he said he doesn't like the concave. I don't either. You lose your working bevel. Let's not argue about that. But the way he's showing you, you can easily work that tool. And I love the way he says you go in plumb and then you roll it around. You go in, you roll it around. If you adapt that type of turning to that type of tool used to all your turning, you'll find that you're getting cleaner cuts, safer cuts, better cuts. Your tools don't get as dull as normal because you're not putting that in the ammo troops, we call it brisance, the impact of the tool against the wood. You're slicing it. It's just, if you want to practice it, get out your good old fashioned pocket knife, get a broomstick and start shaving down the broomstick. Now, as you're going down, keep the blade in line with the board and just tip up a little bit and get on that bevel, and you see the little curlicues coming off. Now, okay, to finish the story, kick it up a little bit more aggressive and start pushing it down. What do you get? Well, you're not going to get very far to start with, but then the cut you're going to get is not going to be very good, and you're going to have something opened up. Now, I've seen beautiful work and seen them in our gallery here in a meeting where you can see the pulls and the tears and the rips, and you can't sand that out. You can't. You can sand all day long. You put that much heat into the piece, something else is going to happen. Why have it? With your bowl gouge, your skew, your fingernail gouge, all of them, if you ride that bevel and control that cut, then you'll get a slice, a true slice. And that's what we're looking for, that true slice. We're going to go back to Mark Sillay right now and finish up our demonstration. Mark, I think you're back and we are ready.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we have you.
Oh, okay. All right. So now what we'll do is one of the other popular things is a nice little bell. All right. So I'll show you how I do the bells. Real quick here. We get this round. I'll pull this back. Let me make sure it's unsupported. I always want to make sure that this thing is tight. Okay, here we go. So we got a little clapper at the bottom. So that means we're going to have to take a little length off of the end of this. So that ought to be enough for a clapper. Now a bell usually has a chamfer on it, like that. And now we have to go underneath, just like we're going to take the bottom off of a, I'll maybe move this back so you guys can see this a little bit. Okay. This is the exact same thing you do when you're taking the tenon off the bottom of a bowl, right? So if I go in here, if I push this tool in here, what's going to happen? Pow! That thing's going to catch because it violates the east-west rule. But if I do this, I now have bevel contact. Now I can turn my tool. Oop, I just did that. And I can go up underneath. You see that? I got bevel contact, turn the tool, and go back up underneath. And that's all sliced, just shiny slice. I'm going to make a little bead here for my clapper. I'm going to go ahead and touch in here. Go back. We'll clean that up. Then we have a little clapper. Let me move the thing a little bit and you'll be able to see better. Okay, so now I'm going to go up here for the body of the bell. I'm going to start making speed cuts. Just get rid of the material. So now we're going to make an OG curve. We're going to start with a cove. We're going to transition with a flat. And then we're going to bring the cut back to the tip of the tool and make a bead. So here we go. All right. I'm going into a cove. I'm pushing. I'm leaning my body, making my tool go to the left. Now I'm straightening out. And now I'm coming back around to make the bead. Let's refine that a little bit. Go all the way around in and we get that nice transitional OG curve. Now we're coming back to the tip and down into the center. You see that? Very fun. We make sure that we make those joints. We turn it to 12. We're going to make a little V-cut right here. And now we're going to create the lowest point of the handle, the lowest diameter. So we just start pushing the tool. And you notice, see the cut, I'm pushing the cut line with the point of the tool, but the lower blade is always curling up the wood, just like the dirt from a farmer's plow. So now I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to make my curve, get my cove. Now I've got it down to my lowest diameter. Now I can push forward because this is end grain. If it splits out, it can't split out except above that lowest diameter. And again, I don't know if the camera can see this. Let me go back here and just show. I can't. Can you see where I'm at? Let me go back here. Let me see what you can. All right, can everybody see how I hold my tool?
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Right, because we're always pushing the tool with our body. And we know I'm right-handed, so I can never have my left hand up there, right, influencing the tool. I can only have the left hand can only push it down. So I keep a body triangle, right? See how I got that transition out of that? Anyway, let me go back to what I'm doing here. I do everything with my, yeah, you see people with their hands up here and all this, right? They don't know what they're doing. Make a V cut, because we always have to have a downhill approach. See, I've got that downhill for my cutoff. That means that as the tool goes in, the wood has a place to go. If I do it uphill, then I'm just forcing it, and this thing's going to break off. And you'll notice when I'm turning, if I do finials and everything, you never, ever, ever see me ever put my hands around for any type of support. And you'll never see this waver. All of my cuts go into the headstock or into the tailstock. I never put a cut across a piece of wood. I don't want my hands here. It's a safety issue for me. So now we'll go to cut this off. Now support it here. Down, downhill. Now I can come around and slowly slice that off clean. Get my hand out of there. But anyway, so now we have a little bell.
There you go. Remember, you've seen 3 shapes, and we want to see your shapes. We keep going, Mark, but we're going to have an ornament challenge on December 20th. That's an ornament challenge for you to show the ornaments you've turned. And that's every member in the club. We had a fantastic turnout last week for the Birdhouse Bob challenge. And and coming up December 20th, we're going to see your Christmas ornament challenge. All right, Mark, keep going.
Okay. Just to let Bob know, you can take a 2x4 and see, you can cut a little ornament. That's all just one piece solid 2x4, right? But you can do a little tiny birdhouse, you know? Anyway, another thing you can do when you're turning the tops, you know, you take these pieces, I'll turn it. This is how I turn my tops, all right? That's out of the leftover piece. I'll turn one on the next thing I do. All right. Another thing you can do that's a lot of fun. It's really simple. Make a simple ball. Right. Just put two wire lines in there and take a magic marker or whatever and put a little stripe on it. You know. And I did one the other day. Let me show a couple more. Okay. We've always got to consider the Jewish faith. So we make little candles, right, that sit up. And here's one of the most popular things you can make is ice cream cone ornaments. The kids love to paint these things different flavors, you know. And I'll just show you how I do those real quick. And then if you want to see my advanced stuff, where I do the toothpick technology and all that, I think some of you guys have seen it. But for those that want to see it, I do not use tenons to put my Christmas ornaments together. Right? I teach toothpick technology so that I can make 50 different finials, and they'll all interchange. I can interchange them to any ornament that I have or whatever, right? Because it's tenonless joinery. Right? And you can even do the sea urchins and the irregular surface shapes, and it'll always join, and there will never, ever be a gap where the finials join. I can do that one day real quick, or one night real quickly here, or whatever. Okay, we'll do a little. You know, Eddie, I'm crazy as all get out. So
we know that.
Okay, we got to make the bottom of the cone. And since this is way out here, I just in a habit to do this. I always like to make sure that nothing has changed when I've tightened it down, because I'm leaving myself wide open for an accident. Okay. So we're just going to make a little waffle cone. And remember to go up underneath. I can't do that. It's going to, so I have to do what? I have to go this way first. Now I can rub my bevel and I can go up underneath. I can go anywhere I want to go. Yeah, so that'll sit up there. So now I'm going to go up here and I'm like just a slight little bead. That's all I'm going to make. Then I'm going to come over. I'm going to turn that bead around a little bit. Little corner. On the top. And come back out. Now I have my ice cream cone. So now we got to do the first scoop. Make a little V-cut right there. We got the first scoop done. Now the second scoop is not going to be as wide. So now we're going to go here. Make it nice and clean so that there's no whizzes. All sliced. There we go. And now we're going to make our second scoop. And get that little corner out of there. Now we're going to make a third scoop. Can you guys see what I'm doing okay?
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. Oop. Got a little bit rambunctious. Go back and give it some support. We go downhill, make it downhill, then we can. We got an ice cream cone. And the kids can paint whatever flavors they want. Since we've got a piece here, I'll show you how I make my tops off the waste block here. I push across and just make a very low center of gravity. Now I come back up here, make V-cuts, get rid of the tops. Now this is very important to make the side cut. Again, it's a flat cut. We rotate our hip to the right, the tool goes to the left. Now we make a skew cut and it's absolutely pristine. I usually make a little thing like that. Start doing that. you want to color that, you can always take while it's spinning right there, you can make all kinds of designs. I just color that right there. Then the kids can identify it when they're doing their work. You see around. Okay, now you can see what I'm doing. Now I'll make a little V cut that way and clean it up. Okay. And so now I've got to just turn that camera just a little bit. Okay, here we go. So now I'm going to make my flat cut. I'm just moving my hips to the right. Go in here and make a little cove and then run a flat. Make a cove, run a flat. Make a cove, run a flat. Make a cove, run a flat. Then I go around, I'll put my finger at the center of rotation over here so I don't put a torque on there, and just go in and just hold that and it'll cut right off. And then I have a nice little no sand spinning top that's done.
Very nice, Mark. Very nice.
Hey,
Mark,
Mark,
you've really
you
been
wanna-
doing these in
Yes.
6-inch butter cubes, haven't you? Because
I
everything's
what?
cutting like butter.
Hey, Mark, there's a pretty lively discussion in chat about how you would put a swirl on the ice cream cone, like Dairy Queen.
Oh, I can. I can if it. Yeah. But you call me up and I'll show you how to do it.
All righty, I will.
But let me. You what? Anyway, no, but what you're trying to do here, you're trying to do something, because when I have my lathe out there and the kids are in front, the object is to try to do one of these things in usually about 3.5 minutes, these ornaments, so that they just go, and it's a lot of fun. And you'd be surprised how many ornaments I have sold in my lifetime. Not only that, but given away thousands and thousands. All right. But anyway, I'll do the
Mark,
little
would you hold your tool up and do a close up of it so everybody can see the grind better?
You need to show us how to do that grind, Mark.
Okay. Okay, let me put something dark on the back here. Let me get something dark.
Now, y'all do know that you get really close to having to pay him, because this is what he does at his demonstrations. This is one of the most awesome parts of the demonstration right here.
And okay, we have a parabolic curve on the front, which you can make with your jig, right? But then instead of grinding the tool, right, on the wheel with a concave grind, everything I do is convex. By having it convex, what happens is, I don't know how the focus on this, is it blurry or is it still in focus?
Right down a little bit and you got it right there.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, okay, so if you'll notice that I grind a convex grind, that means that the only metal that ever touches the wood is the first 128th of an inch. Then everything else is breakaway. So if you have a concave grind, right, then the only way that you can get bevel contact is to touch the tip and to touch the heel. So that doesn't work for me. All right. Anyway, the way we do it, I'm going to go, let me see if I can go over to the, Let me go over to my grinder here. Okay, I'm gonna have to set it down and lift it up again. Just bear with me, folks.
All right, while Mark is making that adjustment, let me mention to the new members that these demonstrations will be on our website where all the other demonstrations are. And our webmaster, our master webmaster, Dave Rhodes, will excerpt the demonstration and place it on the website also. If you have something you'd like to add to our website, send it to David, because we are in the business of sharing information. Now for a commercial break. Oh, wait, we don't do those. Okay.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, we'll go back to Mark again.
Okay,
We
here we
only see
go.
a blank screen. We don't see anything.
Hang
Now
on,
we got
Ed.
you.
Okay, if you look at the, okay, if you look at where I set I use a Wolverine system. So I set that, this rod down here all the way to the bottom. You get that? Everybody see that?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that little lever is all the way down to the bottom. Right? And then when you put it in the jig, right? If you put it in the jig, right? Let me move that up just a minute. Okay, here we go. So if you move that up to the jig, when you go back and forth, you create what? You create a parabolic curve. That's what this jig does. And then you would take the jig away, right? You now have a parabolic curve on this shape here. So then you take the back, you go back about 1.25 inches, and you roll it, and you gradually bring that up to meet that parabolic curve. It's that simple.
So the jig was used just to shape the tool.
For
You
people who
sharpened the
can't,
tool.
right? For people who can't make a parabolic curve, right? They can use the jig. If you can draw a parabolic curve, if you know what McDonald's are like, then I'm going to turn this thing on. I'll show you. All right. I'm going to do this one-handed. So what I'm doing. And you never go over, you don't go quite to vertical. And then you simply take the back and you join it to the front. And now you have a parabolic curve, and it's all, no matter where I touch on that tool, the bevel is only 128th of an inch, and it's absolutely effortless, when you're doing the wood turning. Because I do a lot of the commercial turning, and I can't afford the time to sand. I can't afford to physically fight a tool. The tool has to work for me. It's that simple. And anybody who wants to, come to my place up here, visit or whatever, they're welcome to. I will be happy to, if you call me up and say, Mark, help me, we can get together on the iPhone, and I will be happy to give you some personal instruction. It doesn't cost you a nickel. Right? But I can make all 5 shapes. I can do the roughing, and I always do all my cutoff with it. I don't use Never heard. The only thing I use a parting tool for is when I'm sizing beads and coves on hair legs or something like that.
That was a
But
3/8.
anyway, you what?
That's a 3/8 inch spindle gouge.
3/8 inch spindle gouge.
Yep.
But I do not use detail gouges. Detail gouges have too much metal. I can do much finer work with a regular gouge than I can detail gouge. A detail gouge has a very thick back, right? It's made for reaching way over a tool rest, but you can't make I can make much finer stuff with a regular deep flute spindle gouge than I can with a detail gouge.
Mark, if I don't have one of those little doohickeys to put it on the grinder that make it a jig, can I sharpen this or shape this on a belt sander?
You can.
That's what Trace says. Trace says if you got a problem, take it to the belt sander.
Right, it'll work.
You see? You see, like David says, how far did the tool stick out of the jig? That was for shaping, Mark, David, and there's a 247 rule on that, but it's not that important.
No, it's not that important. But my bolt gouges and stuff, I use the old standard 1 3/4 distance away. And but anyway, Trey knows exactly what I'm talking about, and he's been schooled and trained in that type of sharpening.
Oh yes.
But Mark,
Yes.
I did have one problem. I was trying to show somebody how to sharpen a standard spindle gouge, and I looked in my 15 different spindle gouges, and every one of them was sharpened to the same way you're doing it. I couldn't find a single standard grind.
I can't either, Mark. He's not alone. You sharpened mine for me probably 8 or 10 years ago, and everything I have is sharpened that way. It is a handy, useful grind.
I see a new spindle. I can't talk. I see a new spindle gouge grind in my future.
My gouge that I use is a reground spindle gouge. Same thing. They're great for this, and you don't really use them. I mean, most of us don't really use them much, so they're just laying around waiting for an opportunity.
You guys want me to do a candle or not?
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. We got a demonstrator live and direct. We'll do it.
All right. Okay, I'll do this candle, and then I'll show you how I do a finial. I'll do a 2x4 finial.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right, I'll do this real quick because we got to remember the Jewish faith, and you got to have something around for those kids to paint too. All right, let me go see if I can get this thing back on my little holder up here.
They can do dreidels too, guys.
Yeah, I can do all kinds of things. Let me see.
Okay, members, we will continue the gallery after Mark's demonstration tonight. Here's the rule. Put it in the chat that you've got something for gallery, and we'll whiz through them real quick. But we've got a good demonstrator. And like somebody asked earlier, what makes you a professional? We do work like that. There's no hat or bars or straps or anything. We do work like that. And you can do work like that. All you have to do is work on it. If that's a fair sentence. All right, let's see. We have Cade in house tonight. Welcome, Cade. We'll get to you in a little while. And we're up at almost 100 members in the club tonight, which is good. I'm going to ask you one favor, folks. Invite your friends. Invite all your friends. Tell everybody in your club, everybody in your gang that we're here. And this is what we're doing. Nothing's being sold here. We are sharing information. Tonight, we have one of the best. All right, Mark, let's turn some wood.
All right, here we go. flat one. I'll just do my rough and gouge on this. Get rid of that. Okay, here we go. We'll see if we can do a little flame. So we'll make a little point. Center of the tool to the center of rotation. Bingo. You see that? We got down to one fiber. Take the edge of the candle and make some. I gotta move my camera out just a little bit. There you go. Put that light down there. Okay, now we'll side. We'll do a flat cut. Okay, now we'll take this diameter down a little bit, like that. Go ahead and roll us a little curve. And we'll go back, we'll keep coming around the curve and make a slow little, like that. We'll do the flat move. All right. All right, so now we'll make a little bead. Oh, violated the east-west rule. Up underneath. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna rub the bevel and turn it over. Up underneath.
Mark, I think you're frozen. There we go.
You reach over and grab it. And so we have our little candle with an undercut. All right, my last thing I'll do tonight, I'll do a little finial for you. We'll do it out of 2x4 so you can appreciate the wood slab.
Members, we had a
What?
We had a 2x4 turning club when we first cranked this thing up, and it's not a bad idea. We're probably going to start pushing it again. If you turn it out of 2x4, we want to see it, and we'll put you in a club.
Well, they're great practice material. It's cheap.
Yeah, Heather just said she's going to go to the house to build the next door and score up. So
there you go. And you go to the big box stores like Home Depot, stuff like that. They've got the what they call cull lumber. They spray it with purple paint. It's 70% off. And so a lot of times some of these 2x4s are twisted or split. I buy them up. It's good for the kids. It's the stuff to do for the kids. Let me make sure this is all right. We'll do us a quick finial and then.
Hey, Mark.
Probably bored every.
Can you check the angle of your camera? We're not seeing your wood.
It's a good looking tailstock.
Thank you.
Hey, Mark, do you own any other tools?
Do I what?
Do you own any other tools? It looks like I need to sell a bunch.
Right. All you need is 3 basic tools. You can do 99% of all the work. I mean, about that simple. I'll get this thing rounded. Okay, we'll just do a little quick finial here. See, now that point is it's too pointy, right? It would break off, right? But just let you know, you can do it down to 1 fiber. So we'll do this. We'll make it about like that.
You're working below where the camera can see. There we go.
Oh.
Thank you.
Is that better?
Much better. Thank you.
Now we're going to make our lowest diameter.
Remember, that's still pine.
That in relationship, you see that in relationship to a 3/8 spindle gouge?
Yeah, that's less than 1/8 of an inch thick.
Yes.
It's about a 16th of an inch thick.
I think the technical term is itty bitty.
What?
The technical term for that is itty bitty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right next to teeny
Yeah,
tiny too.
I had a different technical term for itty bitty. When I grew up, it was an itty bitty, teeny weeny polka dot bikini.
Oh, he's old, isn't he? Wow.
Well, don't worry, you won't be seeing me wearing one of those.
Okay, now I'm going to make a
Thank
V
you.
cut out here. I'm making a V cut out there so I can complete the bead. You see how clean those joints are? There's no fuzz, there's no nothing. We always see I keep turning it back to 12 to clean that joint up. We'll go in here and do a V cut there. Let's do a little cove right here. Let's take that and develop it from this side. Making a cove. Then I move my body to the right, make the tool go to the left. Now we're going to bring the cut back up to the tip, push the tip all the way down into the center of rotation, and we get a perfectly sliced OG curve. And again, if you practice, you can do this on a 2x4. When you get to the hardwoods, it's a piece of cake. You make a downhill approach, and we'll come over with a little bead. I'll reach over. You notice that this is not vibrating. Why
Looks
is
like
this
him. Look.
not what?
Hope you're back. You had a little bandwidth problem. Say it again.
No, if you'll notice, I make all my cuts into the tailstock or into the headstock. I never make a cut across, ever.
Mark, it's being asked, what speed is your lathe running at?
2,000. And that's a piece of 2x4, right? And that, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but that's cleanly sliced. And all those little tips on the little edges there are all clean. I don't know if you can see that or not.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful as always, Mark.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Excellent demo, Mark. Thanks for sharing.
Never has to
Amazing.
stand it.
All right, well, make a bunch of these ornaments for the kids. When I went out to the clubs, I used to go to the clubs and I would donate my time for free if they were doing charity projects. And this is excellent practice. Now, if you do this, then put a piece of wood on there. Now take your bowl gouge and do the exact same thing. If you learn how to do the same, make that same ornament with your bowl gouge, right? then you'll become much better at using that bow gouge. You'll learn how to keep your left hand off of the sucker and never put any influence ever on a wood turning tool with your left hand if you're a right-handed person, and vice versa if you're a left-handed person. And as soon as you learn that the only thing that you can ever do is push that tool forward and let it operate like a farmer's plow, you push the cut line with the point of the tool to the final destination. And make sure that you never move your hands. You only operate that tool from your body. Never put any hand influence on that tool, because a farmer's plow does not work sideways.
Thank you, Mark. This has been one excellent demonstration, sir. Showed us some great product here. And remember, folks, December 20th is going to be our ornament show-off meeting. And I think
got a question. Can you please
please.
explain the cuts again? Always into headstock,
Okay.
but never across?
Never across. If you push your tool across, right, excuse me, then you're setting up this. If you push the tool into the headstock, you push the tool into the tailstock, the force is going into directly here. It's not going across to make this thing vibrate and ratchet and waver and wobble and all that stuff. I mean, I do a lot of spindle turning, lamps and chandeliers and stuff. If I had to go back and repair, right, and all these tear outs, I couldn't make any money. So you have to learn how to use your tools, because it'll take you 50% of the time right now to make a bowl or anything else. People spend, you can turn a bowl in 30 minutes inside and out. But then guess what happens? They spend 5 and 6 and 7 hours trying to sand the thing out because they know how to sand. Right? They've never learned how to use sandpaper. And I'm just sort of an old curmudgeon. I do my thing. I've been teaching for 20 years, Eddie, or something like that on the road. But there's certain things that you need to know about sandpaper, right? That people don't know. And what they do is they put a piece of sandpaper on a piece of wood. And if they put a 60 grit, piece of sandpaper on a piece of wood, you are creating your own hell, because now you have to get to the bottom of that scritch that you put in the wood. And it's going to take you 2.5 hours on an average bowl to get your 60 grit scratch out. But if you learn how to use sandpaper, you don't have to worry about it. If you learn how to slice wood, wouldn't it be nicer to start at 400?
Oh, it'd be sweet.
Yes.
Again, thank you, Mark. It was fantastic
Anyway,
tonight. Some great demos, some great pieces.
Not all I. Thank you guys for putting up with me.
Oh, it's all right, Mark. He's a
Anybody else
crotchety
got any
little guy, but
questions for Mark?
Thanks, Mark.
Great job.
And anybody can call me, and we can do a FaceTime, and I can help you with your individual problems.
okay.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
That's a heck of an offer, Mark. Thank you.
Well, I'm telling you.
Don't forget,
Thank you
our
so
ornament
much, Mark.
show off. It's not a challenge, it's a show off. That's going to be December 20th this year. Any and all ornaments, any shape, size, or color, inside outs, odd shapes, multiples, whatever, glitter and stuff like that are optional decorations, but expected. And by the way, batteries are not included in this. But if you want to be part of our challenge, our show off, we're going to call it a show off. I had a little grief last week about us calling Bob's Birdhouse Challenge a challenge. There wasn't a challenge. Bob didn't challenge you to turn a birdhouse. Bob wanted to see you turn a birdhouse and show it to us. Well, now Mark wants to see you turn an ornament and show us what you turned. So that's coming up December 20th. I'm Captain Eddie Castellan. You're in worldwidewoodturners.org, one of the largest crowds in the club meetings we had in a long time. Right now, we're going to go back to gallery. We have a couple of folks have signed up. The rest of you, if you didn't sign up for gallery, put it in the chat. I got something to show. That's where Brenda's going to go right now.
Yes, and we've got Sue again.
Hi there, everybody. First off, for a quick little safety blurb, because we've got people signing off like crazy. It's the holiday season and everybody's making lots of items in their shops. Please do not take shortcuts. Make sure you have your face protection, your eye protection, that you have your respirator and your earplugs. I know that we look like robots when we go in there, but it's for the good of all. And if you heard Eddie's story a little earlier about a local wood turner whose bowl came off the lathe, he did not make it. And that was this past week. Eddie's going to get some more information. So please, guys, I know we're in a rush. You want to make 1,000 ornaments before next weekend, but please, please don't forget your safety equipment. Now, this is for Birdhouse Bob.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
There you go.
That's nice.
That's
Lisa.
awesome.
I like that.
They're cute.
That's just too cute, Sue.
The top and the finial are made with box, whatever that is, box elder, and of course spectral ply. And I used a dove instead of a red bird, but there you go. But the funny thing is, when I put the hole originally in here, it was in the middle of a white piece. But after I reshaped it, it now became in the green, so you can't really see the hole. But you know, such is the life for spectral ply.
Been there, done that.
Yep. But there we
Did a
go.
good job of that.
I love that.
Very nice.
Very, very
No
nice.
sanding either.
And well, very, very little.
Very
And
nice.
So the finial, thank you, Mark Sillay. He showed me how to do finials. I still haven't got the discs brought down. Being left-handed, a little rough for me, but I'm getting there.
Yeah, I don't have those down yet either, Sue, and I'm right-handed.
Yeah, it's just, he makes it look so easy. He's just
Yes,
wonderful.
he does.
So
Thank
anyway,
you, Sue.
and
You
one
did a
other,
good job with that. You're going to have to join the Audubon Society now.
there you go. One other thing, guys, sometimes I talk too much, and I do listen to these programs, especially like last week, I missed the first part. And if I talk too much, please tell me. And
You don't.
and I'll try to do better.
We love you, Sue.
That would probably apply to a lot of us, Sue. I'll plead guilty.
Okay.
All right.
Hey,
All
Kevin,
right.
I'd like to add
Well-
one more thing to Safety Sue's message tonight, if you don't mind.
Oh,
We don't mind.
You
Yeah, guys, I have not been in the shop since September. I've been under the weather and unable to go out there. And I am dying to get out there on my lathe and turn something. The reality is, I'm not feeling up to it right now. I've got some issues with my heart. They're going to fix it. That's not going to be a problem. But if you're not feeling up to par, stay out of the shop. I've seen so many folks that have had accidents when they were tired or they weren't feeling good or they just weren't on their game. So you know how you feel. You know where you're at. And if you don't have any business being in the shop, don't go out there. As much as I want to go, I won't go out there and turn something on a bet right now.
That's a great
Very
point,
good
Dean.
advice.
That also
Good
applies
advice.
if your shop's too hot or it's too cold.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you got to be on your game when you're messing with these machines. I got a sign out there that says these machines do not have a brain. You must use your own.
Nice.
I like that.
Yes.
Thank you,
keep
Dean.
About it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
Dean. All right, let's go to Johnny Hughes.
Where's he at?
What
Where's
you
he at?
got?
Hello there. Well, first of all, I got a little thing just to speak on what Sue was speaking about. I was cutting a piece of 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch maple out there day before yesterday, and I cut a little cube off the end of it just to square it up. And that thing in the bandsaw flew past my head almost, and I didn't have my face shield on. But I was very fortunate because it did miss my head. I don't know where that little piece went, but I've never found it. So I don't usually wear a face shield when I'm doing the bandsaw, but I guess I should. So, thought I'd pass that on to you. But I also have a couple little things I've turned here. Let me move my camera over here. Turn the light on. And let's see here if I can figure this out. There we go.
Oh, cool.
There's a gnome. Look, there's a gnome.
Yeah.
I love
That's
his
gonna be my
handle.
Christmas decorations for this year. But this is just a little, like a little sugar pot I made, and hadn't finished it yet. I'm making a spoon to match it that'll fit in there. But
Look at the grain match on that thing.
yeah, that's part of it, I guess.
Oh my goodness.
It is.
It's
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Well, thank you. And of course, there's a couple of pepper shakers. I may have shown them before here, though. But that's all I had was my little sugar bowl and my gnome there.
Very nice. I love that little.
Yeah, did you make that stand too, Johnny?
No, that's a store-bought stand.
Okay.
I bought a few of those several years ago. So yeah,
Johnny, what was the finish on that?
that was lacquer.
Yeah.
Just plain old lacquer. But I use a spray lacquer. I've got a little small booth. Actually, it's a big cardboard box, and I run a vacuum through it to draw all the fumes out of the shop there. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to stand it in there.
Yeah, I use a lot of lacquer
Very
too. It
nice.
stinks.
Yeah, that's what I did. I just hooked up a shop vac to it, and I stick it in the back of the box, and it draws all the fumes out of there. So it does that.
Good.
Thank you, Johnny. Beautiful work, sir.
Thank you.
And if you
Stay
didn't catch it,
safe.
Johnny, we are going to have a gnome show off early next year. We'll pick a date. Just like we're having the ornament show off on December 20th. So it's a whole lot. We just want to see members. If you're just joining us, this is how I describe it. We're a bunch of wood turners sitting on a tailgate in the parking lot. We talk about turning, we talk about wood, we talk about tools, we lie about what we do. It's all right there. And you can join us anytime you want and every time you want. All right. And don't forget to check out our website, worldwidewoodturners.org. That's our website. Our email address, worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com.
I did want to say
here-
one other thing. I wanted to thank Trace there. He was the one that gave me the wool for the gnome. And I did watch Dean Grimes' video. He's got a very good video on making those too. So if you get ready to make. So I want to thank both.
Thank you, sir.
Sharing information. That's what we're doing, sharing information. Sue alluded to it a little while ago, and I saw an instant message about it. I live in the New Orleans area, and yesterday, a priest at a church across the river from us got injured in a wood turning accident in his shop. The injury was pretty severe. He died. I asked one of the inspectors for the sheriff's department to tell me more details about what happened. Briefly, he said there wasn't any protective equipment, and that was the flaw. So it can happen to all of us, any of us. It's just this thing. We might harp on it a little bit. We're not harping on it. Take the proper safety precautions, please. We love you. We want you back. We don't want to hear about it. We even have a specialist in our group. We do. I mean, if you have any questions about what to do for this, there she is. Band-Aid Brenda.
Yeah, you don't want to get on the Band-Aid, the Brenda's Band-Aid Brigade list. No.
Yeah.
Get on all the other lists, but not that one.
We teased about it when Brenda started with us. She'd say, look, I had a good week. Only one Band-Aid. And we teased about it, and it was fun. We have had a little fun, like Birdhouse Bob. That's not his real name, but we have fun with it. And we can joke about people. All I ask is please, nobody tell Doug Rowe about the bikini thing. We don't want that mentioned, okay? That could be very harmful. With PG rated. And you never know what comes about that. Let's go more
Eddie?
gallery. Yes.
Yeah, we got one more gallery. It's one of the new guys, Craig.
A new guy. We got a new guy?
Yes.
All right, Craig.
Welcome.
Yeah, tonight's his first night.
Yeah, how y'all doing? Thank you for having me.
Well, welcome, Craig.
I've just gotten back into turning again, and I've got a couple bowls in progress that were greenwood, and so I got a basic shape on that. But this is one of the first pieces I ever made.
Nice. Ooh.
Oh, very nice.
Actually, that spire in the middle, I was gonna just make a bowl. Then I realized that my wife needed something to put rings on, so I just left that. And you were talking about the character of the wood. I personally don't like to, unless it's structural, I don't like to fill or glue or anything. I like to leave all of Mother Nature,
Yes.
there.
A lot of character.
That was
that.
that was something else too. One person had mentioned, I met a wood turner years and years ago, and I asked him for some tips. He said, and this is just a personal thing, but when you're doing a bowl or a dish or something, the top's pretty, it's nice and pretty inside, but then you have a flat bottom with felt on it. So this is the kind of stuff that I will do. Every bottom is different, but every bottom is finished like the top. And this is a Spalston maple that I just did.
Ooh,
very nice.
Love it.
So
that's nice.
Yes.
Like it, Spalston.
Nice shine, nice wood.
Yeah, well, right now I'm just using polyurethane. I like clear polyurethane because it just shows the wood in all its majesty instead of turning, into the redwood stain for something that's white, make it more red. I mean, if you like it, that's fine. But I like keeping things as natural as possible. And I never know what my piece is going to look like until I get into it and start going. And the wood always tells me what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Good move. Thank you. And welcome, Craig.
Thank you. All right, I'll be back.
That's wonderful to hear.
We'll see you next week then.
I hope so.
All right. Let's go to Birdhouse Bob.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Doing good, Bob.
I got a couple of Christmas trees I want to show, and I want to show a little safety cutting jig that I use. These are some trees I've been making. These aren't finished yet.
Oh, they're wonderful though, Bob.
Cute.
I like them.
That's a tall one.
And I made some little short ones. I'm in my bag here. That these have sold real well. Now, these
Wow.
aren't about probably 4 inches tall.
Very
cute.
Make them out of cedar.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I see you embellished the base on that one. Looks good.
That's texture with the Sorby texturing tool. The little red handle one.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
But what I wanted to show was this is a jig I made for when I cutting a round piece. It's real simple. It's just a plywood board, with two pieces of a piece of 4x4 cut at 45 degrees, from corner to corner. And I set my piece of wood in there like that. And this is not, it's not smooth on the inside. It's rough right off the saw on the inside. So I don't have the problem with it twisting on me. Because you can run a round piece through a bandsaw and it can just jerk right out from you.
Oh yeah.
But this keeps it from turning. And like I said, it's just a real, nothing fancy, but
Yeah, something you can make
works.
yourself.
I'd originally made it, we were slicing some pieces this way, round pieces this way. But then we finished doing that, so I added another layer of plywood to it so I could use it this way.
And you can buy a jig like that, it costs you a couple $100.
Yeah, this is pretty expensive.
Bob, they
Much
said a
better.
couple hundred. You'll knock it down to 100, Bob?
Well, no, I can't sell anything on this website.
Oh, okay.
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, Bob.
Man, the
You can
rules,
sell
the
it on the
rules.
website. Put it in
that
the
was
chat.
funny.
And you could, if you wanted to, put a strap across the top here, but I didn't bother to do that. But,
Right.
if you really wanted to, you
I
could.
need to make one of them.
But it does
Think
real
about it.
well. I mean, it holds
Great
it. I
idea.
don't have to worry about it getting jerked out of my hand or cutting off the thumb or
Blade.
cutting off or breaking a blade or.
Yep. All
Good
right,
move.
go to Joaquin.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, man, look at him.
Hey,
He's
yeah.
here.
Hey, well, first of all, I want to show this enclosed ash bow, and
Wow, beautiful.
but mainly, I invited a friend, Dusty Darby. His dad was a charter member of our club, and this is his first time on. I don't know whether he'd show himself, and if he had anything to show us. Hey, Dusty Darby.
I'm not saying his name.
Yeah, he's there. He's there.
Yeah.
You hear me? Can you hear me, Joaquin?
Yeah.
Oh, I see him.
I unmuted. I don't know how to turn the camera on yet.
Well, you don't know how.
I'm looking for it.
It's down at the bottom left.
Bottom left. I see start video.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the group, Dusty.
All right. Well,
Do you have your, is your camera is it like inside is it a pop-up camera?
You gotta pick the right camera.
I'm on the iPhone, so
I don't know about that. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it
he
should
just-
come up in that when you click the arrow next to start video, it's going to give you all the cameras that are coming into your computer. And you just pick that one. If you're not sure, just keep clicking them going down and we'll see the one you click.
Yeah, he sent me a picture of a bunch of candlesticks he and his daughter made. They're beautiful. And I was wanting him to show them and get over being bashful if he is.
I'm just really having trouble with this camera.
All right.
If I get it, I'll holler back. I'm still trying, but it's every time I click video, it's not coming up for me.
All right, Dusty.
Okay, well, you keep trying, Dusty, and we're going to go to Joaquin. Did you have anything else to show?
No, that's it.
Well,
Okay.
I'll say one thing, Joaquin, appreciate it, man. I really enjoyed the class tonight. It was awesome. That guy
Oh,
was
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be out in the garage and regrinding some of my fingernail gouge.
Yeah.
Great.
I
Next
think about
Wednesday night.
90% of us are going to do that tomorrow.
Mhm.
All right, let's see. Let's go see Terry.
Yeah, well, that was a good thing. At least now we got somebody on here. We got Dusty on here that's about as handy with this gadget as I am. So we're doing pretty good. I can make mine work some of the times. I was just going to show a few things. I was working with that Hackberry that I got a while back, and a few of the guys, I gave some away, and they made some pretty nice things with it. And I made a few things. I'm kind of mad at myself because I backburnered it and put it in an old storage trailer, figured I would be okay, and it's not. And it all broke, so I lost most of it. It checked terrible. But last week I was telling you about one that I started and was working on it and made a modification and then another modification, and then finally it exploded. And I threw all the parts away over on the counter somewhere, and I went and picked one of them up. I was working on just a simple little plate out of the hackberry that I made. It's like 10 inches and it's come out really kind of pretty. It's just got Minwax tongue oil on it and buffed it off. But I went
A nice shine.
the bottom of the plate, and I turned around and looked, and I had the pedestal that I had made for the piece that blew up. So I said, well, that would look kind of nice on the pedestal. So I did a little modification and put the pedestal on a plate, kind of a little serving plate. So to kind of make it stand out. And it's more of that box or hackberry.
Beautiful.
Really
nice.
pretty wood.
This is about the fourth save for the same piece of wood. So, but I did save it. I'm kind of happy with it. And then a month or so ago, when I first got that, I turned. Wasn't green, but it was real dry, but it still moved a lot. So I made a bowl and I showed it to you. I put it on a pedestal and I just put it on the shelf and let it go to see what it did. It held up pretty good, but I got it back out and finished it. I don't even know if I can get far enough away from the camera.
Goodness.
Mercy.
But that's the base of it. I left that side with all the wormholes and whatever part of the bark inclusion.
Beautiful.
I like going around and leaving the bottom a little realistic. It's got chainsaw marks in it and stuff. I just kind of brushed it off so that it didn't have any rough things on it. Made it, and then the bowl itself come out pretty nice. You can see the bowl. It's about 20 inches tall and
looks like a
just
bird
about
bath.
12 inches in diameter. Huh?
Looks like a
That's
bird
what I was
bath.
thinking. It's a good bird bath.
Yeah, it's a big bird bath.
Yeah,
So
I'm
anyway,
not sure that pedestal's tall enough, Terry.
I didn't have any taller wood.
Oh my goodness.
But I was thinking about that myself. I don't know. I've made several of these and they just really seem to attract attention and I like them and everybody likes them. And,
Sure.
and it just adds so much to a simple bowl as far as I'm concerned.
It
Of
does.
course, you got to have
Does
just the right place to show it, but then, but one
Terry?
more thing,
On that, if you'd put a little longer thing on there, you could have called it a torchiere and put a light in there, and that would match all your other lamps.
Yeah, that's right. Match your lamp.
Now, was that X-rated torchiere?
Yeah, I
But
was
anyway-
going to ask if she kissed her mother with that mouth.
Mon Dieu!
I was gonna show you one quick little thing. Last week we had the birdhouse challenge, and I'm sitting here where I always set up my kitchen table. And a long time ago, my daughter made a birdhouse, and it sits on my kitchen table, and it's been there for years. And when I showed all mine, I never thought about showing the one that she made, so I just thought I'd show it to you. It's nothing to do with turning, but she sure put a lot into it. It came out pretty.
Beautiful.
I think it's a
That's really pretty.
birdhouse from the craft shop or something, and that's all pieces put on there and shells and everything, and it's all put together. It's really pretty neat. She did quite a job on it. It's got a lot of shells all put
Oh,
on
wow.
with all kinds of different.
Yay.
Well, it looks like that was a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work, and it came out pretty nice. But I thought I'd show it to you, and it was just sitting here, and I never even paid attention to it because it's been
Yeah,
there. So
definitely
long.
worth showing. Beautiful.
So I thought I'd show you the other artists in the family. We got all three of them now, and I'm probably at the bottom, but I try. One thing I will say about this club is sitting in the club, I can tell you that as long as I've been at it, I think every Thursday morning, I'm a little better turner than I was Wednesday morning. And I really appreciate all the input from all the help and all the people that take their time to show us all of the techniques and just appreciate it really a lot. everybody's got a lot of really good input, and they take their time to contribute for free into this club. It's really a great club. I enjoy it. And that's all I got.
You're
And
quite-
thanks to everybody who contributes.
You're quite welcome, Terry.
All
That's
right.
where you to share information.
Let's ask real quick, Dusty, did you get your camera fixed?
No, I'm still working on it, but I haven't got there yet.
All
I
right.
did upload a picture. I don't know how to get that to you.
Oh, there's a. Where'd you upload it to?
I just said allow the people on this video to see it. So
Oh, share content.
share content, photo,
Then?
and I've got it on there. But
Oh no, wrong one. Where am I going? Dusty.
Well, you could send it to the gallery.
Why didn't it change?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Email it to Eddie.
Or let's
If
just
you
come
got a
back next
photograph,
week and show us.
if you have a photograph of your work, and this is for all members anywhere, all you have to do is email the photograph to worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com. worldwidewoodturners@gmail.com, and we will use it in our promos, which I try to produce every week when I get the photographs. Oh, by the way, I'm kind of low on photographs right now. Come on, get them in, get them in, get them in. I want to, everybody wants to see what we turn. They really do. They want to see. I don't want to use the term art because it's more than art. It's what comes out of here, comes out of your heart itself, and it's what you do. And somebody said earlier, Heather said, "How do you become a professional turner?" There's no standard. There's no rule. If you sell something, you could call yourself a professional turner. If you teach, you can call yourself a professional turner. There are no limitations. If you turn and you're happy with it, you're a turner. There's no other levels that's important. And we like to see everybody's work.
Yep.
Do we have anybody back up for gallery? We have about 3 minutes.
That's all we got.
Okay. Heather, I think you need to go, that ain't French you were speaking there. Heather put something in the chat. We can't repeat. We're PG.
You're so bad. You know,
It's not that bad.
the first time I heard that word, I had to ask somebody, what in creation did you just tell me? But yeah, and a standing light, whatever you call it. But yeah, it is a torsiere.
Hey, Eddie, I just
Yes.
heard that you guys are all out of gallery. Was that code for me to go put the bikini on, or? I
No,
was just a little
no.
confused.
No.
No, Doug, no.
No.
You bowed it down.
No.
I keep hearing "Go, Doug, go."
No.
Go,
No,
Doug.
no.
Not
Is
only
that a
no,
view of
but
Doug
heck
with
no.
hair?
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
look
this.
at that. Ah,
And I've given you guys a nice shirt.
Doug,
Scrooge
Doug,
onesie.
that's my gig.
Does your wife know you took that from her?
He's
Well,
always in her closet.
Doug left the military last year and he decided to let his hair grow. Some of it, at least.
I'm not quite hippie mode yet, but I'm working on it.
You gonna do a hair bun?
I mean, I can pull it this tight now.
No bun
Thank
yet.
you, Doug.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you, Doug. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you guys too.
Now, who jumped in?
That's
Dusty Darby screen. All right,
Yeah.
Dusty.
All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
We got you.
Finally.
Oh, yeah, too.
Those are really nice.
Nice job.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I like them.
Yes. What kind of wood is all that? It's not all the same, so.
Maple, and there's some ash in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I was making one set for myself, and then I said, "Mother, I had enough to make another set for my daughter." So some of them got a little different wood in there, but
Yeah.
we just
Nice.
fix them up. But yeah, that was fun. She helped me with the photo. She's a photographer, so I needed some help.
Ah,
I hear you.
Very nice,
takes all
Dusty.
kinds of talents.
Great job, Dusty.
Thank you very
And
much.
welcome.
Yes, thanks for sharing.
And yeah, thanks for sharing and thanks for joining us.
Oh, yeah, I enjoyed it.
And Joaquin's going to work with the technical thing about getting your camera to work. He's over there going, huh?
Yeah. I'll give him a call. I'll communicate with him. I will.
Thank you, Dusty.
You bet.
Eddie, the first time I came on here, I had the same trouble. I couldn't find my camera. Like, I know I got a camera on here. I can't find it. Where's it at? It took me a couple weeks.
See, Joaquin's got that lamp in the back there.
We had
Right
some,
behind you.
some friends of ours one time that bought a car.
It's
The
not
first
wood,
time
though.
they had the Bluetooth
No.
on the phone. We had some friends of ours that bought a car, and it was the first time they'd had, where you could talk on the phone in your car.
Yeah.
And they would lean up towards the visor and talk into the visor.
Modern technology. Don't you love it?
Gonna kill us all.
Yeah,
Yes,
really.
I agree.
And we're using,
I'm still looking for the dial on my cell phone.
Can't dial a number on it, huh?
Yeah.
I'm glad I can talk to mine and say, call wife. Because I never remember that number.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, it's time to pull the plug tonight. We gather each week. It's I turn a button on at 5:30 Central Time, and we have to wrap up at 9 o'clock because we had some members that just talk right until midnight.
Mm.
Can't imagine.
Hey,
Yeah,
Eddie,
can I imagine?
I would.
They're all here. Go ahead, Brenda.
what's his name in oh, never mind. What's his name?
I don't
Donald.
know.
Donald Masterson. Got something to say before we go.
Australia.
They say your memory's the second thing to go.
Mine went a long time ago.
I can't remember what the first one was.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Donald
Donald.
in Australia is an old member of our club, and he wants to remind you to save the chat. In your chat, there's 3 little buttons at the bottom corner. Click it. It says save chat. Save it. It'll be on your computer when you look for it tomorrow. And then you may have to wait a day or so before Dave Rhodes puts it up there. But all those things are on the world's greatest website, worldwidewoodturners.org. On behalf of all the members, all my team, all your team, I want to thank you for being with us tonight and ask you to please be safe. See you next week.
See you
Good
next
night,
week.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Have a great week.
Everyone, if I
Good
make
night.
it back on there Christmas
Next week.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, all. Save the chat.
Good night, Jace.
Good night, Grandma.
Good night, Ben.
Good night, everybody. Have a safe week.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Night, Jim Bob.